Party's on. Kilpatrick versus Griffin. Step forward, please.
46-year-old Donna Kilpatrick says former live-in lover, 36-year-old painter Patrick Griffin, owes her for bailing him out of jail and money for a lawyer. Patrick is countersuing Donna for stealing money from under his mattress.
Order. All rise. Judges, case number 89 on the calendar in the matter of Kilpatrick versus Griffin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Kilpatrick, I've read your complaint, and I gather that in 1996, the defendant and you were living together. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
It was drunk driving.
You claim that you loaned him $2,250.
Yes.
Called you from jail?
Yes.
Tell me what he said.
He said that he was incarcerated for a DUI. He didn't want to be represented by the public defender since it wasn't his first offense. He wanted to get a regular attorney, and that he needed some money for upkeep in there for his supplies.
That is not correct.
I'll let you respond in a minute. According to you, he needed $250 for supplies.
According to him, he asked for the $250.
For supplies?
Yes.
So what did you do?
I got cashier's checks, and I sent them to him. I sent one directly to the jail, and the $2,000 I sent to his house. Where,
to whose house?
To his house, or his mother's house, I'm not sure.
I thought you were living together.
No. He asked me to send it to his mother. She was going to take it to an attorney who was going to go to the jail and then discuss it. That's what I was told.
Okay, where did you take the money from?
I took the money from a bank account, and I had cash. So,
my cash.
Equal.
Just a minute. Do you have proof from where your accounts from which you withdrew the money? Because he says that he had $7,000.
$4,800 under the mattress.
$4,800 that you kept under a mattress.
That I kept under a mattress from the $7,000 I had prior to the vacation. I had $7,000 for a truck. Her and I took off for a little mini vacation. When we got back, I had $4,800 left, which I just stashed under the mattress till I could put it in a safer spot.
How long did you keep it under the mattress?
Just the day it was there. And then I was arrested.
Because your defense is that she took your money.
She took my money.
So show me where you got the money from, Miss Kilpatrick.
There was $1,000 in cash. I worked at
$1,000 in cash from where?
$1,000 in cash. I worked as a bartender part-time, and that was from tips, and I used to keep that in my closet in a shoebox, so that cash came from there. The other cash came from my checking.
Do you have proof of that to show me?
No, I don't. Not from that. I just have the receipts from the money I paid for the receipts.
Let me see what you have.
These.
Your Honor, this is almost 2 years ago. Why is this coming up now?
Well, she says she's asked you for the money.
I've been asking her for my money.
Did you ever sign a note to her that you would have the monies that you owed to her by March 20th?
Yes, I did. That was for a Tiffany glass that I broke, that she wanted replaced.
Mm-hmm. How did you break it?
I was in the sink, and I turned the water on, and it just fell over.
When you were living together?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like the kind of thing you would write a promissory note for. Mr. Griffin.
What does the promissory note say?
Do you remember signing it?
No, I don't.
You have a drinking problem?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh. It says that you promised to satisfy all debts to the plaintiff for the sum so agreed by the date of March 20th. You don't dispute the fact that she gave your mother $2,000.
I am not disputing that, no.
Now, do you have any proof to show me, sir, with regard to this $7,000 that you say you got in cash for a truck?
When I went to the bank to get a copy of the withdrawal, it was a First Interstate.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's Cal Fed, and the records only go back to January of '97.
It's all on microfiche.
I could not get it. Just like I was trying to get a copy of this cashier's check that she sent, because I never personally saw the check. And only the purchaser can get a copy of that also.
Well, it's here, and I assume that you got it because it's made out to you. So I have the following questions. Ms. Kilpatrick, this did happen in 1996. And Mr. Griffin asks a very good question. And his question is, why did you wait this period of time, since I assume you broke up shortly thereafter?
No, it strung along for almost another 8 months. And I just had faith that he would come through with the money. We were in a relationship. And
when did you finally terminate the relationship?
About 5 months ago.
Is that right?
It wasn't that long ago.
So it was more recent than that?
Yes.
Did he ever make any payments with regard to this money?
No.
Tell me exactly what the conversation was when he called you from the jail to ask you for the money.
That he got popped for a DUI, and it wasn't his first one, and he was really nervous about that. And he didn't feel that the public defender was going to represent him properly. He wanted to get a regular attorney. If I could please loan him the money, as soon as he got out, he would pay it back. He was in, let's see, August 3rd, and he got out of jail on August 24th.
This is my witness. I sent him over to pick up the money from Donna's.
Well, let him tell me.
He.
Go ahead, sir. First of all, who are you?
Ken Burkowski.
Mr. Burkowski, what do you know about this?
I received a call from Patrick in 1996, sometime in the summer. I don't recall exactly when it was. And he had stated what had happened. And he was incarcerated, and he had told me where he had hid some money and asked if I would go over and get it. I went over to get it, in which I had talked to Donna, and she would not let me in the house to get the money.
What did you say to her?
I asked if I could come into the house because Patrick had stashed some money somewhere so I could bail him out of jail.
And what did she say to you?
She wanted to know where the money was.
And what did you say to her?
I wouldn't tell her where the money was. He told me not to tell her where the money was.
How long do you know him?
All my life?
Had you been to the house before?
Yes.
So before you called Miss Kilpatrick from jail, did you call him?
Yes.
And it was only after you called him and he went to the house and was unsuccessful at getting the money that you called the plaintiff?
Yes, and I told her where the location of the money was and to get it to me as soon as possible.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've never seen that person before. We have never had a conversation, and he did not come to my house asking for the money. He did not.
And later today,
What I wanted to do is to make him feel like part of the company.
In order to make him feel part of the business, you used his credit card. Didn't that sound stupid to you?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donna Kilpatrick wants her former boyfriend, Patrick Griffin, to pay back bail money and attorney fees she loaned him. Patrick is accusing Donna of stealing money from under his mattress.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding your separating a few months ago.
The circumstances?
Yeah,
We
tell me what happened.
simply just don't get along. We argue and fight. I don't trust her.
Well, it's clear that you didn't trust her because you were living with her at the time and you wouldn't tell her where you stashed this money. Why was it that you didn't trust her? You trusted your friend, but you didn't trust her.
Well, I knew that if he were to get the money, that I would get it all back.
What made you think you wouldn't get it all back if she got the money?
I just know how Donna is. And it was just a hunch, which was correct. She's admitted taking this money. She just feels that it was owed to her for putting up with a bunch of...
I didn't take that money, and I never saw him in my life.
Ms. Kilpatrick, I want to tell you something. I have to make a judgment based upon who I believe is telling me the truth. It's unfortunate when two people live together and don't trust each other, but that's clearly the case in this case. I believe that you used his money to send to his family to provide him with an attorney. There is no question in my mind that you did provide him with $2,000. You have absolutely no proof to show me where you got this money from. If you want me to believe you, not only does he keep money under the mattress, but you keep money under the mattress.
I don't keep money under the mattress, and I had no knowledge that he had money under the mattress, and I have never seen that person before. We have never had a conversation, and he did not come to my house asking for the money. He did not.
Now, Mr. Griffin, can you tell me, sir, you lived together with this lady or had a continued a relationship with her over a period of a year after this happened, right? Didn't you ask for the rest of your money?
Yes, I have.
And what was the response?
The response, there wasn't much of a response. And I just thought that it would be taken care of eventually. I never really pressured Donna for it. I didn't agree with it. And then to top that off, she gave her brother my television set after I had left.
A very hard case. But I have to make a judgment call on it. It seems to me that neither of you made the proper arrangements for a loan. I somehow doubt that if he called you in jail, that he said to you, I need a loan for this money and we'll pay you back as soon as I get out of jail. If he called at all, he said, I need $2,000 for a lawyer, get it and send it to my mother. You're living with somebody, you do that. Right, Ms. Kilpatrick? Becomes more convenient to say, at this point, he said to me, it is a loan and I will pay you back as soon as I get out of jail. He didn't do that, then you continue to have a relationship with him for another year and a half. Mr. Griffin, without any proof, sir, because I don't believe your story that you can't get records from a bank going back to 1996, you're a pretty smart man, and you know that you can go to a bank and the banks must maintain records going back more than a year, even if banks merge. So you could figure out some way to get on film.
I don't think they should.
Listen to me, they do. They do. So I have no proof that you had $4,800 under a mattress. In any event, you continued after you came out of jail to have a relationship with this lady, and you lived together, and in all probability, if the relationship had gone on to become a more permanent one, you would not be standing here today. But neither one of you made the appropriate arrangements to memorialize the debt. Your case is dismissed, and the countersuit is dismissed. Go, be well, be happy.
Parties are excused. You may step out the back door to your rack.
Okay.
And now the next case.
Parties on Ditloff versus Ditloff. Step forward, please.
28-year-old electrician Daniel Ditloff wants his brother, 34-year-old business owner Vern Ditloff, to pay his credit card bill.
Brothers, you were working for him and used your credit card at his request so that he could charge some items for his business on your credit card. Is that a yes?
Yes,
And he still owes you the money.
exactly.
And you, sir, seem to acknowledge the fact that you owe him the money.
Yes, I do.
So what's your defense?
What was done is there was a credit card that was used for the company.
His credit card.
His credit card.
Why didn't you use your own credit card for the company?
Because at the point, we were trying to bring Dan into the company, be part of it. He's my brother. What I wanted to do is to make him feel like part of the company. So
Mr.
what
Ditloff,
I did...
let's start this question over again. And
Okay.
you tried to answer the question as if you were dealing with an intelligent human being. Okay? Why did you use your brother's credit card rather than your own? Let's start again so that you didn't tell me that story about trying to make him part of the company.
The reason why we did use his credit card was that we asked him, at the time, I did not have good enough credit to get my
That's
own
the
credit
answer.
card.
Okay. All right. It's not none of this touchy-feely business. You wanted him to feel part of the business. So you, in order to make him feel part of the business, you used his credit card. Didn't that sound stupid to you? I mean, didn't that sound a little dumb?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He mentioned that he would like to have this credit card. We agreed with him 100%. We would do it when we could.
That's ridiculous.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 28-year-old electrician Daniel Ditloff wants his brother, 34-year-old business owner Vern Ditloff, to pay his credit card bill.
how much did you build up on this credit card? According to you, it was $3,000?
Yeah, $3,000 and $92.30.
So you built up this money on his credit card that you acknowledge that you owe him, so why don't you pay him?
I was paying it. What the agreement was on the credit card is we would make monthly payments for this credit card with no specific date that we would pay it off. We would pay it off when we could.
No, it's supposed to be paid off every month. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
It was never meant to be paid off every month. We would pay the minimum balance and more when we could.
And more
The
when you
reason
could.
We would not miss his monthly payment.
Good. Now, listen to me, sir. I want you to answer my questions. When did you quit your job?
1/5/98 is the day we had the big argument, and I walked out because they were holding my check.
January 5th, 1998.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like you to show me, sir, your canceled checks for January, February, and March to the credit card.
Now, there are no...
Or how about and April?
Okay. The reason why there
No. Don't give me a reason. I didn't
Okay.
ask you for a reason yet.
There are
I
no-
said you agreed. You just told me you agreed to make payments on this credit
When
card
he
every
would-
month.
When he would bring the statement to us, the reason why there are none is because as of January 5th, he walked out of the company taking tools, materials, credit cards, cell phones, pagers that he would not return, with numerous phone calls from myself to bring these back, and I would give you your remaining paycheck, and we would take care of everything else. Now, this was not done.
What tools?
The tools that were in
What
the,
tools?
The tools that we, the company, loaned
Tell
to
me,
him.
I'm asking you what tools, sir. You keep telling me
Oh,
tools.
sorry. Here's a
Tools.
copy of.
Yeah, no, I made that point.
And here's the receipts.
Just a second. Shh.
Oops, sorry.
Do you have a Milwaukee hammer drill of his?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Craftsman saw, old model?
No,
What
I
is
do
that?
not.
3 plastic drop cloths? 5 company shirts? And 3 plastic containers? Are you kidding me or what?
No. Those are the things that were given to him from the company,
Oh, good.
as well as,
Listen,
if you will continue.
listen to me. He lends you his credit card. It's in the hole. You didn't pay him for January, February, March, April. I assume you're not going to make payments for May, June. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Pay your brother the money. $3,092.30. Be ridiculous, sir.
Why would, see, now, as from a business point of view, when your employee, when you loan him company, materials, equipment, $900 worth of company equipment
I
and
didn't see
materials.
$900 there.
I have all the receipts here
I
to
didn't see
show you.
$900 there.
When an employee walks out and he won't return your phone calls, I have had a police officer call him. I've had my lawyer call him to settle this thing.
Who called you, sir, to get his $3,092.30 back?
There was never a call stating that.
I've written
ever.
letters even. I have copies of the letters here.
Yes, he mentioned that he would like to have this credit card paid. We agreed with him 100%. We would do it when we could.
When you could? What kind of a response is that? I'll pay it when I can. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of
Thank you, Your Honor.
$3,092.30. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. At the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy. Previously on Judge Judy.
Did you take your 2 children to his bankruptcy hearing?
Your Honor, children in America watch court every day.
Mrs.
No
Leventhal,
showing no disrespect.
Mrs. Leventhal, what I'm talking about is demeaning their father. And you say you don't do that. You just said to me you filed for bankruptcy because of all the medical and dental bills that you
Right,
had
I
to
couldn't
pay.
pay because I couldn't afford to pay.
So you didn't pay.
We have been separated for 2 weeks since he had been removed from our house on domestic violence.
You already said that 4 times. You think I didn't hear you the first
I
time?
said it twice.
Now for the conclusion. 42-year-old social worker Susan Leventhal is suing her ex-husband, Dr. Jerry Leventhal, for not paying medical bills for their son Aaron. Dr. Leventhal is countersuing his wife for not letting him see his children.
You want to tell me what happened on July 12th, your version of what happened?
Yes, ma'am. We have a current domestic violence injunction on behalf of Aaron and Mark because these two individuals had the children on a weekend visitation. He had been exercising irregular and unreasonable visitation.
You know, you sound like a record. I want to tell you something. You sound like a record. I asked you a question, and you sound like a programmed record. I want you to tell me your version of what you believe happened.
The children came home on Saturday night during his weekend visitation. He returned them with a police escort to our home. The children exited the car screaming, "Daddy's hurt me again," the 9-year-old and the 14-year-old. I was nowhere around. It seems that he lost his temper again, and he placed his hands around the neck of our young child. He claims trying to wash out his mouth. The child had marks around his neck. A police officer was at our home, which he had called, interviewed my children with me away from the room so they could speak to him first, as this is what has happened whenever he's had the children. That was the last time he exercised visitation. He did not come in the summer, and he willfully gave it up because of his habitual intemperance. That's what it is, Your Honor, plain and simple.
2 new words.
Go.
Your Honor, my youngest child, is a very difficult child, hyperactivity attention deficit, and
It says so in the papers.
called me a very bad word, all right? And as a child, I had a little bit of soap in my mouth.
What did he say?
He called me a f***ing asshole, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, and I thought that...
How did that come about? I'm just
we were getting ready for dinner. I had some burgers that I was doing. Sherry was in the kitchen preparing. Mark asked if he could call his mother, and he did. And he got off the phone. He's always very argumentative when he gets off the phone with his mother when he's with me. I told the kids to get ready for dinner. I asked them to get washed up and all. He says, "Well, I don't have to, Dad. You're a FA," and that's when I grabbed him by the back of the neck, walked him over to the bathroom, and gave him a little soap for dinner.
Were you present?
Yes, I was.
Step up. If I were to ask you the same question, would that be your
Absolutely. I heard him say that. And I did see him wash Mark's mouth out. And we have a report from HRS where the boys went in and were interviewed, and Aaron did tell what happened. Aaron was present when this happened.
Aaron's the older one.
Yes, and Aaron
Can I
saw it
see the
happen.
report, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And the case was subsequently dropped.
Let me just take a look. Bert, would you do me a favor, please?
Yes.
Would you escort the parties outside and bring Aaron into court?
Sure thing, Judge.
Thank you.
Step up, please. Everybody. This way.
Bailiff, are you going to stay with me?
Go ahead, Phil.
Good. Aaron,
Yes.
would you come up here and sit up here, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Your full name is Aaron Leventhal?
Aaron Simon Leventhal.
You know that I was a family court judge for a long time. So I have some serious questions to ask you, and I want to ask you out of the earshot of both your mother and your father. Okay? And you know I'm like a truth machine.
Yeah.
Right? You believe that, don't you? Good. So I got a couple of questions for you. How was your bar mitzvah?
I didn't have one
How come?
because my dad wouldn't pay for it.
Had you gone for Hebrew school training?
Yes.
For how many years?
Since I was about 8 or 9.
And do you remember what happened with your bar mitzvah? How did you know that your dad wouldn't pay for it?
Because, well, he'd like said it, and he said he'd like have it in a McDonald's.
Who did he say that to?
Me.
Where were you when he said that to you?
We're out with my little brother out for dinner.
Did you talk to him about the bar mitzvah?
Yes.
Tell me what the conversation was.
Well, I said, like, I asked him why not, and he just said, because your mother should have to pay for it. And then I like asked him why, and he like wouldn't give me answers.
Did that upset you?
Yes.
Do you remember last July there was an incident that happened when you were visiting with your dad?
Yes.
Okay. And something about starting to set the table or put the table together for dinner. Is that what happened? Your little brother was told to set the table?
Yes, and he didn't do it.
And he had called your mom about that time?
Yes.
Did he call your father a name?
After my dad had said the word, he said it back.
What did your dad say? You can tell me. I've heard everything, Erin.
Okay. He said that like...
Is that what he said to him? You heard him say that?
We were about to set the table. It's like he wanted to watch the end of a TV show.
Who did?
My brother, and he would have done it. He was like getting up to do it. And then my dad like tried washing out his mouth.
Okay. And your brother was upset about that?
Yes.
He called your father a name?
Yes.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Why didn't this child, after having gone to Hebrew school training, why didn't he have a bar mitzvah?
You did notice that he was wearing a cross quite proudly around his neck, though, today.
Now I got a really much more serious question to ask you, Erin. Does it upset you when your mom talks about your dad?
Sometimes when it like, it's really painful.
Did you ever tell her that it hurts you when she talks about your father?
Yes.
What'd she say?
She says, that'll stop, and if you ever need to talk, we can talk.
Sometimes children who grow up with divorced parents, they have to be smarter than their parents. Do you ever feel that way?
Sometimes.
You haven't seen your father in a long time. Do you know why?
Because he hasn't wanted to.
Who told you that?
Well, I know it.
How do you know?
He lives down the street.
Why don't you tell me your best recollection of what happened on that day in July? So your little brother is in the bathroom getting his mouth washed out with soap, Erin, right?
Yeah.
Did you have dinner that night?
Yes.
Then what happened?
Then my little brother was like talking back still, not name calling. And my dad said he's had it with us and I'm taking you home to your mother. And then like my little brother was like talking to me, just like holding a conversation. And we were like driving home, and then like when we got to the gas station near our house, he pulled over and he like called the police and asked them to like escort us home.
I see.
We got home.
Okay. And what happened after you got home? So the police escorted you home.
Yes, and my mom like asked what was going on, and then like we came inside and we told her, and then my mom like asked if Mark was okay. He like was crying and he like had the red marks on his neck. He like was really upset.
And it was after that incident that you haven't seen your father anymore.
Yes.
But I read a report there that says that you would like to see your dad.
Yeah, but
That's a hard thing, because I know you live with your mom, and I know your mom is very angry. You're not supposed to be involved with that, Erin. You know what I mean? That's their bag. They're supposed to put all of the anger and everything else aside and just be concerned about what's best for you guys. Did you tell your mom you wanted to see your dad?
yes.
And what did she say?
She said,
Look at me, Erin. Come on.
that if he would like come and pick us up, then we could see him. And if he like didn't yell or scream a lot and like belittle my mom.
What about your little brother? Have you ever talked to your little brother about seeing your dad?
Yes.
What has he told you?
That he'd like to. And he'd like him to like do what other dads do.
You'd like him to act responsibly. But you have to understand that if all of his actions are being put under a microscope, it's very hard Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, if he grabs your little brother by the neck and puts soap in his mouth because he called him it, which is what he called him, right? Huh? A little bit more than that, right? That's not unreasonable.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if your parents were living together,
they'd probably give some soap in the mouth.
Absolutely, right? Right?
Yes.
But because they're not living together, it became a big deal. You're a smart kid, Aaron.
Thank you.
So you understand it. Now I just have to explain it to your mother and to your father. How's that?
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
If you love your children, you'll put yourself in some serious counseling because you're the one who is the custodial parent and you are a very sick lady.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Susan Leventhal wants her ex-husband, Dr. Jerry Leventhal, to pay her for her son's medical and dental bills. Dr. Leventhal wants his former wife to stop stalking him and let him see his children.
Okay, first I'm going to get on your case. Son tells me that he went to Hebrew school for several years, but when it came to making a bar mitzvah, you told him he couldn't have one unless he wanted it at McDonald's. Did you ever say that to him, Dr. Leventhal?
No, Your Honor. Actually, my ex-wife.
You. I'm asking you, did you ever say that to him?
No, ma'am.
Why didn't this child, after having gone to Hebrew school training for years, why didn't he have a bar mitzvah? Of some sort. I'm not talking about one of those lavish things, you know, where they have clowns and photographers and dancers and all that kind of, but something.
At the time that Aaron was due to be bar mitzvahed, my ex-wife and I were separated. It was an extremely volatile situation, you know, it boiled down to if you had wanted your son to have a bar mitzvah, you would have paid for one, and that's her rationale. And I understand that, but
okay,
he didn't proceed with his Jewish teachings very long after we got to Orlando.
What I'm telling you is, perceptions for children are very important, Dr.
I understand
Leventhal.
that.
And Mrs. Leventhal, I want you to listen to this very carefully because I've spoken to your son.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
1 minute. Your Honor. You did notice that he was wearing a cross quite proudly around his neck, though, today. Okay.
I assume that he, at this point, Mrs. Leventhal, is being raised in your faith. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. For 15 years after marrying Jerry Leventhal, I practiced Judaism.
But then you divorced him.
And the child
What?
has chose now to start into learning about Christianity to mature in his faith.
Do you go to church now?
I do. I also stay active in the temple.
You know, you folks, you're going to really suffer the consequences. Especially you, Mrs. Leventhal. I'm telling you, I make no excuses for your former husband. I think that he's done a lot of things that are wrong. I really do. I think that he should have swallowed his pride, begged, borrowed, stole a couple of $1,000s to make his son a bar mitzvah. I don't care if it was a luncheon someplace, let you invite who you want to invite, just so that the boy would know that he went to school. So I don't make any excuses for him. And I don't make any excuses for the fact that you are probably very, very angry with him. You devoted, according to your papers, 20 years of your life, encouraging him through everything else. Bottom line is you hate him more than you love your children. And I'm telling you that because I've just interviewed your son. He wants to see his father. And his younger brother wants to see his father. And I'm telling you right now, you made a big deal over him grabbing your son by the scruff of the neck, trying to put soap in his mouth. Even your son, Aaron, is smart enough to know that if the two of you were living together and your 9-year-old or 8-year-old at the time called his father that kind of name, your son, Aaron, is smart enough to know that that's probably what have happened and you would have been right behind him in the bathroom. But because it was, put your hand down, but because it was done when you were separated, there was a big deal made out of it. Mrs. Leventhal, I am telling you that you're supposed to love your children more than you hate each other. Your children didn't ask to be born. Your children are going to feel as if there is a lack of support that they would be showing to you if they repeatedly said, we want to see our father, we want to see our father, because they know how hurt you are, how devastated you are, how angry you are with him, and you're their mother and they live with you. And the two of you aren't doing the right thing if you don't put aside every other acrimonious feeling that you have towards each other and say, your mother's a great gal, your father's a great guy, we couldn't live together, we're divorced. That's it. The rest of our business has nothing to do with you, so that your children shouldn't have to listen to you on the phone talking to anybody else about what a deadbeat their father is. Think that that's happened? Mrs. Leventhal?
They have not heard me say he's a deadbeat, but that his behavior is inappropriate and unaccountable for. Yes, ma'am. I am as honest about that as I can be. I've never said their father's a terrible person. I've said I want you to know your father.
Listen, what you sow, you will reap. You made 2 children, and you're not supposed to make them into emotional cripples. They want to see their father, and you shouldn't put anything in the way, any restrictions in the way. If the two of you don't get along and they want to see their father, you don't say, if your father comes here to pick you up, you can see him, which is what you say. Your father, that's what your son Aaron says. That's what Aaron says. If your father wants to come and pick you up, he can come here whenever he likes.
That's what I say.
Well, first
Yes,
you said
ma'am.
no, then you said yes.
I said when his father wants to come, yes. If he practiced reasonable and calm visitation and did not emotionally and physically hurt them.
Are you talking about the soap incident?
No, I'm talking about the reason he left our home in '95 under domestic violence.
Listen to me.
Until this.
Listen to me.
Your Honor,
Madam,
you need to know the history.
No, I don't, because I have a judgment of divorce that stops there. The judgment of divorce provides for visitation.
Since that time.
Just a second. That's all I'm interested in. That was in 1996. So I'm not interested in what happened in 95, 94, 93.
Well, since that time,
Only
he's
that.
not exercised his visitation.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Mrs. Leventhal, you know, you want to know something? I'm giving you the money that you're requesting for your orthodontic work, $3,300.
Thank you.
And I'm telling you that if you want to help your children, you'll go into some serious.
We are in counseling.
You, not them. You will go into some serious anger management therapy because
I have been through it. Thank you.
Because your problems are so deep-rooted. And I'm not saying that you don't have cause. And I'm not saying that he was a great husband. I'm not saying he was a fair husband. Maybe he was a lousy husband. You are going to destroy your children unless you get it together. I am dismissing your counterclaim, sir, but I'm not giving her the $5,000 she's requesting. I'm giving her $3,300 for the orthodontist only. And Mrs. Leventhal, if you love your children, you'll put yourself in some serious counseling because you're the one who is the custodial parent, and you are a very sick lady. That's all.
Party's not excused. You may step out. I'll be back with you right now.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy, Judge Judy.
Party's on Y versus Davis. Step forward, please.
30-year-old operator Ron Y. says former roommate, 44-year-old reservation clerk James Davis slandered him by sending flyers around the neighborhood.
Order. All rise. Hello. Hey. Your Honor, this is case number 108 on the calendar in the matter of Y versus Davis. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
Y.
Mr.
Like
Y, according to these papers, you rented a room from the defendant.
Yes, I did.
And you're suing him for slander.
Yes.
Say he evicted you.
No.
You left.
Yes.
He has a countersuit for some money that he alleges that you owe him, along with some other things that I'll get to in due course. So how did you find him as a roommate?
He owns a computer line, and I logged on to it, and that's how I met him.
Did you go for an interview?
I know I met him prior to it, and he had told me that he had needed a roommate, and he said that his roommate was moving out and he needed someone to move in.
And what was your financial arrangement with him?
$300 a month.
What about utilities?
Well, my fair share of utilities was fair to me. We didn't have like you're going to pay this, you're going to pay that. It was $300 a month, and I was going to pay my share of the utilities. That's
Well,
the
how
way
many
that it
people
went.
were living in the house?
2.
So you were going to pay 50% of the utilities?
Well, at first, that's what it started out to be, yes.
So what was the trouble?
The trouble was, I started getting, Mr. Davis started handing me these every single month, and they're not the bills from the utility companies. They're bills that he printed out on his computer. Mm-hmm. And he would give them to me every month, and about 3 months into it, I said, you know, these bills are getting a little ridiculous for 2 people living in one apartment. He has a computer line which has 15 computers in there, and he's got 2 refrigerators and all kinds, and in the front room has a computer, and he has all kinds of stuff, and he runs the air conditioner 24/7. So I didn't feel that it was my responsibility to pay his part of the utilities. So I told him.
When you say part, so you didn't, when you moved in, you didn't have a clear understanding of, other than the rent, what share of the utilities you were going to pay.
Well, I agreed to pay half at the time until I started getting these bills, and I thought they were ridiculous.
And you saw that half was a lot more than you thought you were using. Did you pay the rent?
Yes.
Every month that you were there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how many months were you there?
6 months.
And I assume that that's true because he does not, in his countersuit against you, say that you owe him for any rent. Mm-hmm. So why did you move out?
I moved out because at the time he was just like, the bills were getting to me too much. Me and him weren't talking at all, and I just wanted to get out of there. I was just getting tired of having to deal with him every single day. Every time I walk in, I go, "Hi, Jim, how you doing?" And he'd be like, "Hi," just like real depressing all the time. And I don't want to be in that kind of an environment, And
so you left, and what happened after you left?
After I left, at the time I was on unemployment. I should make that fact clear. And he knew, and he was complaining that my rent wasn't on time, but I can't make the government pay any time, and he knew that I was on it prior. So he started saying, well, you need to pay the bills. And then he sent a letter to my mother's address, and the letter that I have right here in hand, and he said that I owed him $275, which is the first, and that would be that.
Okay, so he says you owe him $275.
Right. Mm-hmm. And in that letter, he states that he has my last unemployment check. He said that he will not give it to me unless I bring him cash, which is blackmail in my opinion. And I told him, you know what, I will be over there this Saturday, and we will settle this. And I went over there that Saturday, and I called the police station, and I called the police station, had a police officer meet me there and grab my stuff and leave. On that letter, he states that the carpets were cleaned. He states that the walls were done. None of it was done. I walked in with the police officers, and nothing had been cleaned, nothing had been done, nothing. And I had wiped down the walls, cleaned everything, and vacuumed and everything upon leaving.
You got your check, your unemployment check.
Yes, I did. Finally, with the police's help.
So what are you complaining about, sir?
I'm complaining because after that, Mr. Davis decided that he was going to send a flyer out. With on the third paragraph down, it says that he was going to send a flyer out saying that...
That's not true, Judge.
Shh, just a second.
Excuse me. It says that he was on that. There is a threat on there that he was going to blackmail me, which is blackmail. That if you do not pay me, then I have no other alternative but to send mass emailings along with flyers with your picture on it. About a month later, after I went with the police to get my stuff, he sends this to my mother's address, which is this one. And he also, I want to add too, that I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I was anonymous at the time, and I volunteer once a week at this place where alcohol people go, and Mr. Davis sent one of those letters also to the people there, where he broke my anonymity. I used to have a private life. Now I don't have a private life anymore because this guy, nobody knew who I was. Now all of a sudden everybody knows who I am because of this letter. He also states on that I owe people money and all, and he has no proof of anything there, And I just don't think that it's fair that someone should be able to get away with something like that. I can't go anywhere now, and I'm afraid that people are looking at me funny. I can't even live in my own city that I used to live in anymore.
You're talking about both of these pieces
Yes,
of paper.
they both came. And they also went...
I can't read and listen to you at the same time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Would you show these to the defendant, please? Have you ever seen those before, sir?
Neither one of them, ma'am. No.
Excuse me, Your Honor. This man owns a computer company, and that picture was taken on Valentine's Day with a good friend. The day after Valentine's Day, because I moved out the 22nd of February out of him, I asked him, Jim, can you scan this on your scanner and put it on a disc?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Shh, just a second.
And he did scan it and put it on his disk. He's the only one with that copy of that picture. He's the only one that could have had that copy and made it, and put it on a computer so he could print it out on that.
What about the person who took it?
The person who took it
Yes.
it's a Polaroid. There's only one copy of that picture, and I have the copy in my possession, but that one was
Let me see it.
Well, I don't have it with me. I didn't know that I was supposed to. That was the picture. I was at the Alano Club, and it was made on a Polaroid. And I asked him, could you make a copy of this for me so I can have it on disc?
Does that sound familiar to you, sir?
Not at all, ma'am. I never saw that picture until just now. This is the first time I've
And
seen
also,
either
if you
of these.
notice, on that letter, the first letter that I got a month prior, on the third paragraph down, it states that he will send a picture out with flyers all over the city.
Well, it says, if necessary, the mass distribution of flyers all over the city of Long Beach and Whittier. Why did you threaten that, sir?
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am.
Just a second.
This thing that he just said that he doesn't have, that he didn't ever saw, has his signature on it and everything.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
A letter that you attribute to him was not signed by him.
Okay, but he has a stamp, his signature. That's not a sign, that's a stamp. And also on this it says...
Just a second. You got more excuses than Carter has pills.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ron Wise says his former roommate, James Davis, slandered him by sending a flyer around his neighborhood. James is countersuing for unpaid rent and utilities.
Would you have the defendant write his name 4 times, please? Thank you. Well, I tell you right now, Mr. Y, I have the answer and countersuit by Mr. Davis with his signature on it. That is not the same signature on this letter.
But, Your Honor...
It is not the same signature, Mr. Y, as is on this letter. No way, shape, or form. Now, I want you to take a look at it. Just a minute. You'll see. This is the countersuit, and the defendant had absolutely no knowledge that I was going to compare signatures, and the signature that he has just made 4 times matches the signature on the countersuit, not the signature on that letter that you attribute to him. How did you get to court today, sir?
Drove?
You have your driver's license with you?
No, ma'am. It's in the car. I'll leave it in the glove box.
Do you have anything else in your possession with your signature on it? Yeah, credit cards.
Credit card?
Good. Let me see it. Great. Got a couple of those? The signature on all of his credit cards, sir, matched the signature on his countersuit, matched the signature on the 4 handwriting exemplars that he just gave me. So the letter that you attribute to this man was not signed by him.
Okay, but he has a stamp, his signature. That's not a sign, that's a stamp. This is a stamp with his thing on it.
No, ma'am.
And also on this it says...
Just a second. You got more excuses than Carter has pills. Let me see it. Say it was a stamp. I didn't see there was a stamp.
On that letter, it states that he has my unemployment check and he has
Just
my
a minute.
belongings. He just agreed to that he'd had it. Now, if he agreed to having my stuff and I had to bring the police in to get it, why wouldn't he agree that that was his letter?
It's just not his signature. I didn't say it wasn't his letter, sir. I said it's not his signature.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any reason, sir, to send out this kind of filth to anybody?
No, ma'am. According to my attorney, I should have just dropped the matter, which I did. I was going to go to court and file a case of small claims, but because Mr. Y was unemployed, he said I would have basically a snowball's chance in hell of collecting.
How many places did you live, sir, in the past year?
2.
His place and your prior
Yes.
residence? And how long did you live in your prior residence?
6 months.
And where, on what street was that?
That was on Bermuda.
Did you leave owing any money there?
No, the bills were all in my name, and so was the apartment.
You know, what I have a problem with is, I have a problem with your suit because it's really hard to ascertain. He says he didn't send those things out, and certainly they are slanderous.
Oh, definitely.
They are slanderous, so I can't imagine why any normal person would send that out, especially since, according to your countersuit, sir, as best as I can come up with, you say unpaid utilities, $206. Okay? Then you say a credit for deposit, which means he gets a credit for $100, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to have had a $300.
Just a sec. He gets a credit for deposit, which means he owes you $106. Then it says late charges on rent, $200. I discount that. He paid you the rent. Then it says carpet replacement. Do you have receipts for the replacement of the
Yes, ma'am, I
carpet
do.
and show me what damage he did to the carpet?
It was either a bottle of mouthwash or a bottle of soda or something that was red. It was bright red. I had a carpet cleaning company come in and try and get it out, and they could not remove it.
You spill anything on that was red, sir?
Well, yes, it was mouthwash, in fact, and it was on my dresser, and I came home one day, and above my dresser was a vent, and he's not allowed to go into my room, and I don't know why he was in my room, but he put a vent, plastic cover over the vent to diffuse the air, and that was on the ground, so I wiped it up, and you know, and that was not for me. I mean, I know it was my room, and it was in my possession at the time, but I did not drop over that mouthwash.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Watt, you made a contract with him for $300 a month and 50% of the utilities.
Yes.
And then you unilaterally wanted to change that.
Right.
Right? You can't do that.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Ron Y says he was slandered by a flyer written by James Davis. James says he's never seen the flyer before today.
My problem is, Mr. Y. Why?
Why?
I need proof that he sent those things.
He's the only one with that picture. He's the only one in the world that could have had that picture. I have that picture in my photo album at home. He's the only one that made a copy of it, and I put it on a disc, and I have the disc of it at home, too.
Who else got those?
One was the Alano Club, where I was an anonymous member of Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, that's for sure one. You know, I went over there, and they called me up, and they said, guess what, we got a letter. You know, and then one came to my mother's address, one went to my dad's address. You know, these are my parents' addresses, and he's the only one who could have known that.
Mr. Y, if you weren't getting along for a very long time and you moved out in February, why would you ask him to do you a favor and scan something into his computer?
Well, because it wasn't like I was planning on moving out. He didn't know that I was planning on moving out. I just wanted to get out of there because he was depressing.
It's not true, Your Honor.
Just a second.
And every time I would come home, he would be like, oh, you know.
I heard what you said, sir. My question to you is if it was miserable enough so that you had decided that you were going to move out.
Because at the time I was putting my feelers out to find another roommate. And nobody had said,
that.
You know.
I mean, are we talking apples and oranges here? What I asked you is why would you ask him to do you a favor and scan something in his computer for you if you really weren't talking to each other?
Because I wanted a picture of it. And he was sitting on his computer, and I said, hey,
Why?
Jim, can you scan this for me?
No. Why?
Because I wanted it on a disc.
According to you, you had it. You had the Polaroid picture. You said it was a Polaroid. You had
it is a Polaroid.
You had a Polaroid picture.
Uh-huh.
So why do you need another one?
Because I wanted it on my computer as on my desktop. I wanted it on my computer, so when you turn my computer on, I have a picture of me and my friend. That's what I wanted. And that's how it started out.
I don't know if I'm satisfied. Listen. Can you prove to me that he owes you $106 for utilities?
I only brought the one phone bill with me, ma'am.
From what month?
February, ending February 22nd.
And what does it say?
Well, the total for the month was $244.96, but I went through and highlighted all of his phone calls on the bill.
Would you take a look at this bill? Thank you.
Okay.
Now look at the things that are highlighted.
Well, some of the phone numbers
are
are mine. I'm not going to disagree that some of these phone numbers are mine. But on all the bills, he charges me phone taxes plus basic service charges and all these ridiculous amounts of money for bills. I was paying $350 a month in bills.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You have to cancel checks for him for utilities? For the utilities that
No,
you
I
paid
gave him
for 6
cash.
months? You gave him cash?
I gave him
He
cash.
always paid me cash, and I
paid him in
recorded
cash.
it. And every time he gave me a payment, I gave him a new printout showing where he gave me the payment.
But towards the end, right before I moved out, that's when I said I wanted to see the bills because the bills
I
were
don't
too
blame you
high.
for- I don't
And he
blame him.
wouldn't show them to me.
He could have looked at them at any time. They always sat on my desk.
No. I asked him.
They were always on my desk. He could have looked at them at any time.
Then if I could have looked at them any time.
Mr. Davis, did he ask you to see at any time the original bills?
No, ma'am, he did not. The agreement on when he moved in was $300 a month in rent, $300 security deposit, which he only paid 100 of.
Which is a lie.
He was to pay 50% of the electric, 50% of the gas.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
It sounds reasonable, sir, that when you move in, you say, I'm going to pay this much in rent, and this is the portion of the utilities that I'm going to pay. You agreed to pay 50%.
At first.
There was no change, ma'am.
Then you got angry that you were paying 50% because he was using more utilities than you were because he was running a business out of it.
Right.
Right.
Not
Well, then
angry,
you
but
have
I felt like he was using me, and I was paying more than
Then
my
you
fair
have-
share.
No, listen to me, Mr. White. You didn't make a contract with him for $300 a month plus your fair share of utilities. You made a contract with him for $300 a month and 50% of the utilities.
Yes.
And then you unilaterally wanted to change that because he was using more of the utilities than you were.
Right.
Right? You can't do that. And quite frankly, I cannot say in good conscience that I am satisfied that those things emanated from him and that they were disseminated to anyone, because I have no proof that they were disseminated to anyone. I have no proof that they were disseminated to your mother, to Al-Anon, to your father. I have no proof of that, sir. I only have your statement that they were. So I have two problems. I have two problems. One is that I'm not convinced that he did it. He seems to think that you did it yourself. That's what he seems to suggest in his answer.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know why anybody would be nuts enough to do that themselves. Right. But even if he did it, I don't have any proof, sir, that it was disseminated to anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. So your lawsuit and his countersuit are dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Harris versus Ice. Step forward, please.
31-year-old police officer Peter Harris is suing 57-year-old Nick Ice for filing a false police brutality complaint after Nick was arrested for assault.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 96 on the calendar in the matter of Harris versus Ice.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Harris, you are a police officer.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that?
I work for the city of Los Angeles.
According to your complaint, you were in the performance of your duty, working one evening, responded to a call, and arrested the defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
And subsequent to that arrest, which you say was relatively routine, with the exception of the fact that the defendant resisted arrest.
Correct. There was a minor altercation.
But subsequent to that arrest, he lodged a complaint against you,
Correct.
which caused a police investigation, internal affairs investigation. And tell me why you want to be compensated.
Because his complaint against me was absolutely false. He had said that I had struck him in the knee with a baton after he was handcuffed. He not only made this complaint with the police department, he sent a 2-page letter to City Councilman Joel Walk's office, which is what started the whole affair and the whole investigation. He was then later brought in to the police station by my supervisors, was advised that and signed a complaint advisory form which states that he understands that making a false allegation against a police officer, he may be arrested and have charges filed against him under 148.6 of the California Penal Code.
You do not deny hitting him on the knee.
Oh, ma'am, I did not hit him on the knee at all.
You did not?
No, ma'am, he was never struck. He was taken to the ground, but he was never struck.
Okay. And that was before he had handcuffs put on him?
Correct.
And the reason he was taken to the ground is because he resisted being cuffed?
Correct.
Can I see his complaint, please? And tell me what happened to you as a result of this, Officer Harris.
Well, it was quite a long, drawn-out process. It took probably several months. I was quite edgy and irritable because of this. I suffered a lot of stress at home, at work. At times when it may have been necessary to use force against somebody, I may have been a little apprehensive in using that force, which could have been detrimental to my health.
How long have you been a police officer, sir?
8 years.
How many complaints have been filed against you in that 8-year period?
Civilian complaints?
Civilian complaints.
One. One
This
other
one?
than one other than
One
this.
other than this one?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long ago was that?
1991, ma'am.
And what was the outcome of that investigation?
I was found not guilty on all charges except for one, which was neglect of duty because I failed to properly document an incident.
And how many arrests have you made in 8 years?
Hundreds.
All right, sir. You were in a bar, you were playing pool? Listen to me carefully.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were in a bar playing pool.
I was playing pool. I was about 40 feet away. I heard a glass crash to the floor. We looked up, and there was a fist fight going on at the end of the bar, which is, I say, about 40, 50 feet away. Then two bikers took off quick out the door. We finished our pool game. Everybody was going crazy down at the end of the bar, so we just stayed away from it. We finished our pool game, and after that, I went and I sat down in the center of the bar. I said, "May I please have a bottle of Budweiser?" I took 2 sips. This officer walked up behind me, said, "You're under arrest." I said, "For what? I haven't done anything." He didn't say anything to me. He just cuffed me and started leading me out the door. Then I repeated this several times, that I hadn't done anything. What was I under arrest for? He didn't say anything. Then I was struck. I told him that I had 16 screws in my right leg. He proceeded to hit me in the left leg with his baton, I believe it was baton, and knocked my leg out from underneath me, and I fell forward onto the cement and received 6 or 7 stitches in the chin, which my doctor removed.
Don't play with paper, sir. He doesn't deny that you had injury to your chin.
All right.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. He did sustain an injury in the altercation.
And it's your testimony, sir, that at the time of this incident, you were outside, you had already been handcuffed inside the bar. That's what you
Correct.
say here. Is that right?
Correct.
And Officer Harris, according to your papers, sir, fortunately for you, there was people taking videos of this incident.
Yes, ma'am. The entire incident was captured by the LAPD Life on the Beat film crew who was riding with me that day.
Were you aware of that, sir?
Yes, I was.
Have you ever seen this film?
No, I haven't. But
Well,
they-
let's see it together.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Somebody else was taken out of this bar, looked like the head was all covered with bandages, bleeding from the eye, right? Clearly there was a melee inside.
And later today,
I just miss my things. You know, they're precious memories that I don't have now.
cases, real people. Judge Judy. Officer Peter Harris says Nick Ice filed a false police brutality complaint after Nick was arrested. Nick says Peter struck his legs with a baton for no reason, knocking him to the ground.
Have you ever seen this film?
No, I haven't.
You have it with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it.
Hang on. I got to know what's going on before I can press any charges against anybody. What's happening?
Just hit the owner.
Nothing. I was sitting at the bar and she came up. Come on, John.
I put my hand up to protect myself. The one turn for sunglasses.
Turn your wrist around now.
After repeated requests for compliance, the officers must use force in order to apply the handcuffs.
Dad, I'm not trying to do anything. For God's sake. What's the matter?
Do you have any ID on you? You guys want to look at him, please?
For God's sakes. I was standing there, mind my own business. I didn't do a thing.
Well, first of all, Mr. Rice, I have the following comments to you, sir. From the sound of your voice on that tape, you had had more than just a few sips of beer that evening.
I hadn't had anything to drink before I came in, Your Honor, and I played 3 games of pool.
That's first. That is my impression of your slurred words. Second of all, you were clearly not handcuffed until you got outside. That's what that showed.
I made a mistake on that. Everything went so fast, I thought I was handcuffed before I was taken outside.
Mr. Rice, that's a big difference. Clearly, from watching that tape, you were escorted outside the bar. You certainly resisted having the handcuffs put on. They told you to put your hands back. You didn't. Doesn't look to me as if anybody hit you with anything. It looked to me as if Officer Harris twisted you and brought you down. Now, I don't mind looking at that tape again. You want to take a look at it again, sir?
No.
Huh? I
No,
didn't
Your
see
Honor.
any use of a baton, Mr. Rice.
The next morning, I woke up, and I couldn't even stand up. I was hitting the leg with something.
Just a second. Could we rewind that, please? I want Mr. Rice to look at it again.
It doesn't look like it on the tape.
Well, you're not suggesting that Officer Harris doctored this tape, are you?
I am not, no.
You press any charges against anybody. What's happening?
Just hit the owner.
Nothing. I was sitting at the bar and she came up.
See your hands, sir? They're clear. See, he's handcuffing you now.
Protect myself. The one turn.
This looks like some fight.
Yeah, but I wasn't involved in the fight.
After repeated requests for compliance, the officers must use force in order to apply the handcuffs.
Dad, I'm not trying to do anything.
Now look.
For God's sake. What's the matter?
Do you have any ID on you?
Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Officer Harris, you were the officer who twisted him around. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right? It is clear, sir, that this gentleman, in the course of effectuating an arrest, trying to get you to comply and put your hands behind your back, you didn't do that. He twisted you around and brought you to the ground. Well, what you deserved. You're supposed to comply with an officer's direction. Unfortunately, I do believe, Mr. Rice, that the problem was you'd had more than a couple of sips that evening before he got there. So your memory is a little fuzzy about what happened. Now, Officer Harris is doing something that probably a lot of police officers don't do, which is sue civilly when you make a false allegation. Your allegation was clearly false, sir. I mean, I'm reading your complaint.
I was not in the fight. I didn't do anything except play game pool.
And Mr. Rice, that's not the issue, sir. The issue is not whether or not you were the victim of a false arrest. That's a totally different issue. You were alleging police brutality.
Which is the case.
Oh, no, sir. I just looked at this tape. There was no police brutality. They may not have had probable cause to arrest you. I'm not hearing that part of the case, although I saw somebody from the bar step outside and say he assaulted the owner.
Yes, ma'am.
The owner
So clearly-
The owner retracted that statement.
Whether the owner retracted that statement or not, Mr. Rice, at the time this officer came on the scene, he had a statement by a civilian where somebody else was taken out of this bar, looked like the head was all covered with bandages, bleeding from the eye, right? Clearly there was a melee inside, and he had a statement from somebody that you had assaulted somebody. So he had a clear responsibility at that point to arrest you. The only issue is whether, in effectuating that arrest, he acted in a brutal fashion, which is what you allege in your complaint.
But I was being arrested for something I had absolutely nothing to do with.
That has nothing to do with whether or not he had the obligation to arrest you. He had a statement from a witness that said you were involved in an assault. And that's what we have courts for, that's what we have judges for, that's what you have juries for. And it may turn out, after it's all ferreted out, that there is no basis for the further prosecution of the case. That doesn't mean that every time someone is found not guilty, the police are sued. We had a statement from a witness. Whether later they recanted it and retracted it is not the issue. Said, I made a mistake. So you did the wrong thing. And he's got to be compensated. How many times have you been arrested? Mr. Rice, did you hear my question?
I couldn't say, Your Honor.
What do you mean you couldn't say?
I've had a couple 502s.
What's a 502?
Drunking under the influence.
Right. So I would suggest, sir, that you don't handle your alcohol well. And that maybe you ought to do something about it.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
There are some very good lock pickers. I know I've put a lot of them in jail over the course of my career.
closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 31-year-old police officer Peter Harris is suing 57-year-old Nick Ice for filing a false police brutality complaint after Nick was arrested for assault.
So, Officer Harris, tell me what you think you should be compensated for this, and I absolutely agree that you should be compensated.
Well, ma'am, I put down $5,000 because that is the jurisdiction of this court, and I would feel that anything that this court would be giving me in this case, I would respect any amount.
How about, Officer Harris, if I give you your $5,000, $2,500 for you and $2,500 for the Police Benevolent Fund in Los Angeles?
That sounds like a very good idea.
That's the judgment, $5,000 to be divided that way. Thank you.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hostetler versus Eaton. Step forward, please.
37-year-old Tracy Hostetler is suing her former friend, 41-year-old Barbara Eaton, for stealing items from her storage space. Both will be translated by sign language interpreter Brenda Roberts.
Ms. Hostetler, according to your complaint, you shared a storage space with the defendant. It was your storage space, and you told her that she could store some of her things there for a small fee. You are claiming that she stole some things from your storage space.
Yeah. Yes.
Could you tell me, please, why you decided to share a storage space with her?
When I was sharing with my ex-boyfriend Gary, that was happening then, and so then I wanted to have my own storage space. And then a month later, her brother wanted her things out of his van because he needed to sell the van. So I offered her to help her out to share my storage space. And I asked her to try her best to pay some rent if she was able to, but I know she didn't have any job or she wasn't on SSI.
When you went to your storage space, you found certain things missing. Was there a key or was it a combination lock to the storage space?
There was a key.
What was missing?
There was a round table, some chairs, a Dutch shelf, video camera, microwave. There's actually a lot more. I have pictures of some.
Yeah, show me the pictures of what you have. Did you confront the defendant about taking the property from your storage space?
Yes, I did. I asked if she had stolen them, and she denied it.
And I believe.
And I do believe that she stole it because Sunday I checked my things and they were there. 2 days later, I called her to move her stuff out because my things were way in the back. And 2 days later, it was missing.
Did you take any of her things?
No, I did not.
Do you know who did take her things?
No, I do not. In fact, I had a few things of mine missing, which I don't know what all I have missing, just a few things that I know of just offhand. But
like what?
It was just old, a few old mirrors. I had big wall mirrors, and I had a butcher block knife set, and a couple of Budweiser beer mugs that were collectors.
Mm-hmm. When you found your things were missing, you asked to look in the new storage space that she had rented, according to this. Is that right?
Yes.
And none of your things were there. Is that right?
No, no. I believe it's in another place. I don't know.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Ms. Hosteller, just because she had the opportunity to take the things out of your storage space doesn't mean that you can prove to any court satisfaction that she did in fact take them out of the storage space. Do you understand? There are a lot of people that can get into those very cheap locks.
There wasn't any damage to the lock, though.
Doesn't have to be any damage to the lock. There are some very good lock pickers. I know I've put a lot of them in jail over the course of my career. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know what happened to your things. You're not sure of what happened to your things, so I can't enter a judgment for you. That's unfortunate. My suggestion, don't share a storage space with anybody. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Conant versus Randall. Step forward, please.
Singer Susan Conant claims former boyfriend, businessman Gerhard Randall, pushed her down and assaulted her. Gerhard says she was drunk and fell down.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please. Thank you. Judge, this is case number 101 on the calendar in the matter of Conant versus Randall. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, ma'am, have a seat.
According to the papers that I've read, Miss Conant, you and the defendant had been involved in a romantic relationship. I gather he wanted to break it off.
That is correct.
You wanted to talk. So you went to his place of business, according to your complaint. He assaulted you there. You suffered injury. He is cross-complaining that since this incident you have harassed him, that you stole his telephone book and been calling friends, women friends, etc. Correct?
That's correct.
So how long had you been going out before this incident?
I met him in early '97. We had been dating until October 27th when the incident happened. It had been an up and down, very rocky relationship. For 1 week he loved me, the next week he wanted me out and would order me out, and I would leave, and then I would come back and he would want to. He would be very affectionate and loving. He's a very charming, he can be very charmed. I was swept off my feet. I fell in love with him completely. By the time the 10th month or so came along, I was tired of being kicked out so many times that I finally decided I wanted to get the truth. And I went over there. I did take a half bottle of...
when you say you went over there, you went over to
his place of business, which is also where he was living at the time.
Okay.
And,
had you called first to tell him you were coming over?
I don't remember if I did or not, Your Honor. I honestly don't remember. I
But
usually
according
do.
to your papers, you had fortified yourself with some alcohol.
No, not before I went there. I brought it with me. I brought a half a bottle of Bloody Mary mix with 2 shots of vodka in, and I brought it over there to share with him. I came up, I drove into his parking lot. I came up to his door. He ordered me to sit back in my car. He said, I'll be with you when I can. He was probably emailing, which he does all the time.
Ms. Conant, let me stop you right there.
Sure.
You look like and sound like an intelligent woman. You're in a 10-month relationship with somebody. You come to his home, place of business to talk. He tells you to go wait in the car.
I know.
Shouldn't that have told you, let me get out of here? This guy is
It should have.
nowhere.
But
So, all
I
right,
think
so
my
you went and you sat in the car. And while you were sitting in the car, you were drinking, according to your
Very
papers.
little. Very little. He made me wait for about a half an hour. And yes, I should have known. I should have known. But as the saying goes, love is blind. And with me, sometimes it's blind, deaf, and dumb. Anyway, I waited out there for half an hour. I took a few sips. I was not intoxicated. He asked me in. I came in. We talked for about 2 hours. He asked me, he said, I want you to leave. And I said, no, I'm not going to leave. I want to know where we stand. Do you love me? Do you want a life with me? Do you want me to get out of here? You know that I love you. I just want to know what's going on. So at that point, it was like his demeanor switched. It was like a light bulb went off. He stood up, very angry, came over to me, grabbed me by my arms up off the sofa, and said, you get out of here now, and shoved me towards the door. And I think I fell down at that point. Then following that was about 45 minutes of this whole thing. I remember grabbing onto him, grabbing onto doors, grabbing onto walls, anything, because I didn't want to go. I know it sounds dumb, but I was desperate. I wanted an answer from him. I wanted him to come forth and tell me the truth.
He was telling you. He told you to leave.
No, I wanted to know if he loved me, not whether he wanted me to leave or not. I already knew he wanted me to leave. But anyway, he managed to get me out finally, in the end, by grabbing me by the arm. And I have some photographs here, if I can hand them to the bailiff. So he shoved me out. The worst thing, well, I was covered with bruises, but he shoved me out of the front door. I fell onto the concrete and lacerated my chin. And I was covered with blood. And I was blood in my hair, blood on my body and my clothes. When he saw that, he ran out to me. He grabbed me and picked me up, helped me back in, and he was saying, oh my God, oh my God. And he sat me down. He ran to get a bucket and water and tried to wash me off. At that point, I knew something was wrong. So I ran into the bathroom, turned on the light, and screamed because I was covered with blood. I looked like I'd been shot or something. So I ran back into the room, and I called the 911, and I said, please come help me quickly. I've been beat up or shoved. He never struck me or hit me, but he kicked me and pulled me and pushed me and shoved me.
Are you telling me that he shoved you down and he kicked you?
Yes.
And even after he shoved you down on the floor and he kicked you and told you, get out, you still didn't leave?
No, I did not want to. I didn't want to. You can laugh.
I'm not
Everybody
laughing.
can laugh.
I'm saying
Everyone
to
can
myself,
laugh,
an intelligent...
But my body doesn't matter. My body doesn't matter to me. It's my heart that matters. I could have loved my...
Susan, what happened was that evening, you'd lost it.
He lost it too, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Your behavior was not rational.
He could have called the police and asked them to come and get me, to take me away.
That's true. But your behavior wasn't rational. I'm not excusing if he did what
His
you say he
behavior
did.
was not rational either. I was very much in love. I was very much tired of being mistreated. I have his letter. I have the police.
Don't tell me letter.
No, I have a police report. This is the police report. I think this would be very important, in which he admits. It says, I am listed as the victim and he is listed as the suspect. It says summary of suspect statements. It says suspect.
I can read. Okay, before I comment on this police report, because there are some interesting things in this police report, sir, I'd like to hear your version of the events.
Your Honor, I have a couple more documents here.
What?
They're very important. One is his signed statement, his restraining orders. We both went for restraining orders. He admits to pushing me, causing me to fall.
No, it doesn't say that here, madam.
It says here I pushed her and she fell.
No.
Yes, it does. I underlined it in red.
Listen to me. It's not what it says. It says, whereupon I pushed her out the door, period. She then fell. You said I pushed her out the door, causing her to fall. That's not what it says, and that's not what it says in the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She brought a half-drunk bottle of vodka mixed with Bloody Mary.
No, it was not half drunk. It was
Listen
half
to me.
empty.
Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying?
He's lying.
Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying?
He's lying.
You ready to have this case dismissed?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Conant wants her former boyfriend, Gerhard Randall, to pay her medical expenses after he assaulted her at his home. Gerhard says she was drinking and that she fell after he put her out.
Ms. Conant, what else do you want to show me?
This is a letter that after we got restraining orders, we made up. We decided we still wanted to see each other. He left flowers on my doorstep. He asked me for forgiveness. He promised to pay for my damage.
Let me see.
This is a letter that I wrote because I still wanted to see him.
Not the letter you wrote to him.
Well, but that's going to be what he brings up as his defense.
Why don't you wait and let me see what his defense is?
Thank you.
All right, now be quiet. Go.
Thank you, Your Honor. In the evening of October 27th, she did come over.
Had she called first?
No. I
Go
had
ahead.
no idea she was coming over. I had no premonition even that she would be coming over.
So
And
she didn't call first.
She did not call.
Let's keep it going. I have
Yeah.
other things to do today.
She came over. I did tell her that she should wait outside because I was busy. She brought a half-drunk bottle of vodka mixed with Bloody Mary.
No, it was not half drunk. It
Listen
was
to
half
me.
empty.
Did you hear how quiet he was when you were testifying?
He's lying.
Did you
though.
hear how quiet he was when you were testifying?
He's lying.
You ready to have this case dismissed?
No, Your Honor.
Good. Go ahead. She's not going to interrupt you again.
After 2 hours and 45 minutes of going around and around with this, I'd had it. I'd had enough. I said, you must leave. At that point, I did take her and shove her out the door and lock the door behind me. There is about 10 feet of a walkway, and then there is a parking barrier, one of these concrete parking barriers. She stumbled over that, and she fell, and I saw her laying in a fetal position, sobbing. I couldn't see her like that, so I went out to see what was wrong, and that's when I noticed she had been bleeding. When the police came and they saw where the blood was, it was a good 15 or 20 feet from the door.
Who is this person?
This gentleman here is Officer Pham of the Pasadena Police Department who responded to the call that evening.
Okay. Step up, sir. Would you tell me what you observed when you arrived?
When I got there, the doors open. I walked in, and I saw the plaintiff inside. She was cut up, was bleeding. I proceeded to ask her what happened. At first, she told me that he had beat her up, kicked her, and this all happened in a back room where he's supposed to be living. I went back there to check for any blood, any sign of a struggle. There wasn't any. Later
Are
on.
you positive she told you that he had beat her up in the house?
Yes, that's correct.
But you checked for evidence of that, you found nothing.
The way she was bleeding, there would have been sign of blood drop, stain, hands on the wall as if there was a struggle, which there wasn't any.
So what did you do next, sir?
Then I went outside, and sure enough, there was blood stain on the walkway, just right outside the door and on a concrete area.
Which concrete area, sir?
Just right outside the door, ma'am.
Where was the farthest point of blood that you saw from the door?
I would guesstimate around 15 feet, ma'am.
Did you see a lot of blood there?
Just a drop here and there.
You interviewed the plaintiff, and initially, according to your report, she told you that the incident occurred inside. You subsequently ascertained that it occurred outside.
That's correct.
Initially, she told you that he beat her up.
That's correct, ma'am.
Did she ever change that story?
Yes, she did.
When?
After I interviewed I got his side of the story. Then I asked her, I present his side of the story to her. Then she recanted, and she told me, yeah, that did happen like that.
The report says when I asked Conant, that's the plaintiff, if she had had anything to drink, she denied having alcoholic beverages. Later, she admitted that she did have 2 drinks. Did you write that?
Yes, ma'am.
So at first, she denied having anything to drink.
Yes, ma'am. But it was obvious the smell, her eyes blood and watery, just her appearance. I can just smell that from her person.
Is there any other witness to this incident?
My daughter is an after witness. I brought her here. If you would like to hear from her, that she's
Certainly.
prepared to.
Step up.
This is my daughter, Maria.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You were home when your mother arrived home that evening?
Yeah, I was sleeping.
And what happened when she arrived home at about midnight?
Her knees were bleeding. It looked like somebody had beat her up. It didn't look like somebody had
Her knees were bleeding like she had fallen.
Yeah, but she had bruises all over her arms, so you don't get bruises by falling. You know, like somebody grabbed her.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Just that I don't believe that she was drunk because she didn't seem drunk to me. She just seemed really stressed out.
Did you smell alcohol on her breath?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Sit down. Let me hear about the counterclaim.
Okay. She went to my desk and stole my little black telephone book.
How do you know that?
She admitted to it.
Admitted to whom?
To me. The way I found out is I got a phone call from ladies that I have never met, and I'd just been talking over the phone or emailing or whatever, and they said some strange woman had called them, asking them if I'd been intimate with them.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't see why everyone is laughing, because it was the only, when you are confronted with a man who will deceive and lie, the only way a woman can protect herself is by trying to act like a detective and find out the truth.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Conant says she suffered cuts and bruises after her former boyfriend, Gerhard Randall, pushed her to the ground. He says she was drunk and she fell on her own.
So what did you do next, sir?
I confronted her. I said, I want my telephone book back. And she said, I don't have it anymore. I threw it away. And this went on for like a week or two. And
I gave it back to him the next day.
And people continued getting phone calls. My mother got a phone call from her, and she complained to my mother. Of course.
No. Am I allowed to say when he's telling something wrong?
Just a second. No, what you can tell me is why did you take his telephone book?
Because by that time I had discovered that he was emailing 42 women. He is addicted to email, and he has these email romances. And I said, Gerhard, you have to stop this if we're going to continue seeing each other. Then by the 2-month mark, which was around December, the end of the year, I went to see him, and he was very kissy-kissy, charming, sweet, and I said, oh, he's got something up his sleeve, I know it. So I went and I took the address book, I took it home, and the first thing I did was call a name of a woman that was in Wichita, Kansas. She admitted that he had called her on the phone and they had talked for 3 hours, and that he had sent her cookies, Christmas cookies, home-baked Christmas cookies. So I went back to him and I said, Gerhard, I'm through with you. This is it. I don't want to see you anymore. You're obviously very sick when you want to have romances with women on the email that you don't even know.
Why did you take his address book? Didn't you know that was stealing?
No, I returned it the next day.
Your Honor,
Your Honor, I don't see why everyone is laughing, because it was the only, when you are confronted with a man who will deceive and lie, the only way a woman can protect herself is by trying to act like a detective and find out the truth.
Miss Conant, listen to me. Maybe that's true if you're married to somebody for 25 years. But if you're dating somebody for 8 months.
10
months. And you find out that he's has mood swings, according to you, up and down. The first thing you do is you show him the door. If you feel in your heart that somebody who you've been dating for 10 months is cheating on you, even via the internet, you show him the door.
I thought I could change him. I thought I could help him. And he asked me to help him with this email.
Okay.
He asked me to help
I have some more evidence, Your
Go
Honor.
ahead.
I'd like to submit.
Go ahead.
This is a phone book that she returned to me. It's in her handwriting. She has taken all my entries, entered them in her own hand, and gave that back to me and said, here's your phone book.
Let me see.
This is what she gave back.
Let me see.
I never got back my original phone book, let alone get it back the next day. This came back weeks later.
No, it came back the next day.
Shh. Are you saying to me, sir, all these entries are in her handwriting?
Not all of them. I made a couple since, but you can recognize her
Well,
handwriting.
just point it out to me. I can't recognize it.
Okay.
I'm going to compare it to her complaint signature, but
All right.
I'd like you to point it out to me.
Well, he stole more than an address book from me. He stole my heart.
Just a second, Miss Conant. I'm going to ask you a question. Listen,
why are people
if there's
laughing
any
in here?
If there's any,
I don't understand this.
if there's any more noise from our gallery, we're going to leave. Do you
I
understand?
suffered a very great deal from this.
Ah.
I don't see what's so funny about it.
Ms. Conant, did you in fact alter in any way his address?
No, I didn't alter anything. I copied it word for word because his was falling apart.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm going to address your complaint and I'm going to address your counterclaim. I am satisfied after hearing the evidence in this case that the incident that occurred inside of the house occurred as indicated by the defendant, that while he did in fact push you out of his home, and I believe that he did that, that push did not cause you to fall, that your initial fall was 15 feet away from the house, and that you fell because you were intoxicated. The only independent witness, the police officer, has indicated that when he responded to the scene, you gave him one version of the events, then you changed the story and you gave him the second version of the events consistent with the story that the defendant tells. The defendant could, in fact, after a 2 or 2.5 hour period, tell you to leave. When you refused to leave, you became, in effect, a trespasser. He had the right, therefore, to put you out of the house. He did not have the right to assault you, which I do not believe he did. I believe that you fell, and I believe that you fell because you had probably had a little too much to drink and were very upset. Your complaint is dismissed. As far as your cross-complaint is concerned, sir, you are suing for a relatively small amount of money. I would assume that you want a token to say, don't ever do this again. Small amount of money is not going to make any difference. I would assume, however, that you are smart enough to know that all ties, including any financial ones, should be totally broken, and that if you have any further difficulty with the plaintiff, that your response has to be an immediate call to the police. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
That's all. Thank you.
Why does I excuse you?
I don't
Step
believe
out.
this.
Back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All parties on Steins versus Chacon. Step forward, please.
18-year-old customer service rep Marlena Steins wants the father of her child, 20-year-old woodcutter Arturo Chacon, to pay their daughter's child support.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 92 on the calendar in the matter of Steins versus Chacon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Steins, how old are you?
18.
And you have a 3.5-year-old daughter?
Yes, I do.
He's the father.
Yes.
According to you, he signed a document indicating that he was supposed to pay $192.52 each month for child support.
Yes.
And since your child was born, he has not paid the child support.
Right.
And you acknowledge that you haven't paid the child support.
Yes, but we have lived together, and I've, bought stuff for my daughter and taken care of her, but I guess
How long did you live together?
We lived together off and on for about 2 years, I would say.
After she was born?
Yeah.
Who supports this child?
I do. Your Honor, all the times that we were living together, he was not working. He worked off and on, but I would say that he worked maybe 20% of the time. So it was really me supporting him and Chantel.
Well, the child was born when you were?
14.
14. You were working when you were 14?
Yes, I was.
You weren't going to school?
I went to school and I worked all 4 years.
Are you telling me
It's not true either.
Shh. Are you telling me that the state never contributed to the child support?
Welfare?
Yes.
No. I've gotten food stamps. The state has paid for like my child care, Medicare, or Medicaid, things like that, but I've never gotten welfare.
So you don't get a monthly check from welfare, but you get food stamps from the state?
Well, I don't now, but I have in the past.
You have in the past, and they paid for?
Her to go to daycare.
Were you living at home when you were 14?
Yes.
Were you living at home when you were 15?
No.
Where were you living, with him?
Yes. Well, for a little bit of the time. So when we lived together, we would live together for maybe like some months at a time, and then not live together, and then live together again, not live together, like that.
So for a period of 2 years, it was on again, off again, living with each other.
Right.
Were you working?
Off and on.
How were you supporting yourself?
We lived with my parents.
During what period of time did you live with your parents?
The whole time we were together, pretty much.
We also lived with my
we lived
mom.
with her parents.
So you lived with both your parents, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Try yes. This is your only child?
Yes. However, he has 2 other children.
Well, that was my next question. How old are you?
20, and I only have 1 other child.
He has 1 in question, Your Honor.
That's not true.
Just a shh. Hey! How much money did you make last year?
Last year, I don't know. Not sure.
Give me an approximation.
I'd say 2-3 grand, I'd say.
And how old is this other child that you have?
5 months.
And how old is that child's mother?
18, 19.
Where do you think you come off making $3,000 a year and making 2 babies? You think that it's adult? You think that it's grown up? You know.
No, $3,000 is just probably what I made last year.
And what about the year before?
I really couldn't say.
He doesn't do taxes.
He doesn't do protection either.
That's true.
Shh. Now, what about this child in question that he has? What do you know about that?
Well, there was this a girl that told me that she had his baby, and when I asked him about it, he said that wasn't true, that wasn't his baby.
Are you going to court for that baby?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, okay. So you're not sure? You had the conversation with her about...
No, I didn't.
So that never happened?
No.
Okay. How much support are you giving for this other baby that you do have?
Well, I've been taking care of that baby.
How?
Buying diapers, expenses, and just being a father to that baby. Which I would like to do to my other daughter.
Your Honor, when we were living together, we were living together in February of this year, and I gave him the money to support the other baby. I bought the baby formula. I bought the baby diapers.
That makes you pretty foolish.
By choice.
Just a second.
Your Honor, at this time I thought that Andrew had grown up. I thought that
How could you think? Listen to me. You look like a lovely young woman.
Thank you.
How can you think that he's grown up when in the interim, when you weren't together for a brief moment, he goes out and makes another baby? I mean, one mistake. Having your daughter at age 14 was clearly a mistake. You understand that.
I understand that.
And the fact that you try to be responsible, what kind of work do you do?
I do appointment setting.
What is that?
Like, I set appointments for people who want siding on their house and things like that.
So you work for a siding company?
Yes. I work for Midwest Wholesale.
And how long have you been working for them?
I just started. I got laid off from my previous job, which I was on for a year.
Just quit.
You living at home with your parents?
No, I have my own apartment.
And you pay the rent?
Yes, I do.
How much do you earn?
A month, I earn $1,700 gross.
So, looks like you've chosen a hard path, but you're doing it.
I just really want what's best for my daughter. I realize that I had her young, and I know that that puts her at a disadvantage, which makes it more especially important for me to give her what she needs emotionally and financially. And I need his help financially. I'm not doing it.
Well, if it was up to me, I'd take her away from you. Why don't you tell her about how you tried to light her pillowcase on fire?
Look at me.
She was mad. She has different personalities. She was angry at me one time. She went in there and she lit the pillowcase on fire, and she goes back into the front room and says, "Your daughter's on fire." So I went in there, I thought she was joking. I went in there and my daughter's laying on the other side of the bed, on this side of the bed, the pillowcase is on fire. I took out that pillowcase and put it out, and I picked up my daughter, and I went to call the cops, but I didn't want them to take my daughter away. I just didn't know what to do.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You lost your license because you didn't pay child support, right?
Yeah. Financial Responsibility Act.
Sounds good to me. You can make them, you gotta support them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arturo Chacon claims the mother of his child, Marlena Stein, set their baby's bed on fire.
When did this happen, sir?
This happened, I'd say, about after a month that we had lived together in this apartment that she still lives in.
How old was your daughter at this time?
3.
So it happened recently?
Yeah.
Want to tell me about that?
It didn't happen, Your Honor. That's something that he told. Later, what happened was we were breaking up, and he took my daughter. The very last time that he's ever seen my daughter, he took her and he hid her at his aunt's house and told me that I was never going to get her back. I have full custody papers, so he can't do that. So I called the police. The police came and took the baby away from his aunt to give back to me because I have full custody. And they, of course, the police asked the people why they would want to keep my baby away from me. And then they started, you know, saying all this stuff that I'd never even heard of. You know, so I mean, it didn't happen. And I mean, you would think that if he was truly concerned because I know that he was trying to start her on fire, I would have called the police. There's no ifs, ands, and what's about it, you know?
After this incident, sir, did you go into court and seek an order of custody?
No, I didn't.
Well, you didn't. Why didn't you?
Because Chantel loves her mom, and I've been in and out of her life all her life.
Well, according to you, she wouldn't have had much of a life. Her life would have been cut short, so it would seem to me that if this incident happened, a responsible, normal, caring parent would have beaten a path to the local family court and said, somebody help me, I need custody of my daughter because she's living with a maniac. You didn't do that.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Do you have any excuse as to why you didn't pay this child support that you were supposed to pay?
No, I don't. I'm not going to make something up, so I don't.
Well, what do you intend to do to pay it?
Well, I got a job now, and they've been garnishing my checks, so I've been paying back the welfare that she got.
What do you mean
So
the
I've been
welfare that
paying-
she got?
Well, she did receive welfare checks for like, I don't know, maybe 6 months at my house.
Did you ever receive welfare checks for 6 months?
Actually, I did. I'm sorry, I did receive. I was for 1 month, and that's what he's paying back. I have the.
It was, I owe welfare $1,900, and I don't think they'd give her $1,900 in 1 month.
Actually, no, it's not. He doesn't owe. It's $2,900, and he doesn't owe welfare $2,900. He owes child support enforcement $2,900. I have the check that I recently got from him, and it's for $35, Your Honor, and I got it 2 days ago.
Well, but I don't know what portion, madam, of this money is owed to welfare. So you did receive welfare for a period of time.
I received it for 2 months. Yes.
First you told me 1 month. Now you told me 2 months. He said it's 6 months.
Well, when you originally asked me whether or not I received welfare, I said no because I forgot about it. And then when he brought it up, I remembered that I did.
Now, have you ever been to court to be legally declared the father of this child?
Yes, I have.
I have the paperwork.
Does that order provide for an order of visitation?
On the weekends.
It does say that you have visitation on weekends?
Yes, it does.
From when to when?
From Friday to Sunday, I think it was.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you have those papers?
I do.
May I see them, please?
It'll take me a minute to look through these to find that order.
I want the order of support, and he says that there's an order of visitation.
Here it is. This is the parent. This is the paper that says that he will have parenting time from 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay, this provides for you to have parenting time, or what we call back East visitation, every other weekend from Friday evening at 7 o'clock until noon on Sunday. Were you visiting the child every other weekend?
Only when she would let me.
Well, how did that come about that you were denied visitation, sir?
Well, any little thing that I would say, if it made her mad or upset, or if I said, if I was going to take her, like just even last weekend, I said I was going to take her. Only I was visiting my other daughter also, and I was taking my daughter over to her house too, so I could visit them both, and she didn't like that. And it was all because I don't have a license to drive.
It's been revoked.
You lost your license because you didn't pay child support, right?
Yeah. Financial Responsibility Act.
That sounds good to me. You can make them, you got to support them. Are you telling me, sir, that since you separated, since you were no longer living in her mother's house or your mother's house, that you have been vigilant about coming to try to get your visitation every other weekend? You didn't skip any weekends, you didn't forget to come, you didn't call up and say, I'm not coming. Is that what you're telling me? That every other weekend at 7 o'clock, you were there to pick up your daughter?
No, I wasn't.
Why not?
Because after a while, I got tired of being out of her life. The only one I'm hurting is her. I guess I'm better out of her life than in and out of her life. I'd rather have me hurt than her hurt.
You better get some good counseling.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
That was my plan, to go to school and work.
What do you mean, was your plan?
Well, is my plan.
You have to have more than a plan, sir. If you make babies, you need action, not a plan.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marlena Steins wants child care costs from the father of her child, Arturo Chacon.
You have this order of visitation, and the reason that you don't exercise it is because you're not there all the time for her. So instead of seeing her regularly every other weekend, you've decided not to see her at all. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, then. But now I'd like to see her.
Then?
Be in her life forever.
All right, so that was then. So then she didn't prevent you from seeing her. Then you just decided, if I can't be with her all the time, I'm not going to be with her at all because she'll forget about me. Now you want to go back into her life, right? Because now you realize that it was a mistake that you didn't see her. Is that what you're telling me?
And stay in her life.
By seeing her every other weekend.
Yes.
So that what Miss Stein says is accurate in her answer. That you were, sometimes you came, sometimes you didn't, sometimes she waited for you, the little girl, sometimes you didn't show up. That sounds right to you.
No, it isn't right. But
I mean, but that sounds accurate to you. Maybe right isn't the way, it wasn't right, but that sounds accurate to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't plan on having any more children with him, do you?
No, I don't plan on having any more children, at least for the next 10 years.
Good, you'll probably burn him.
Let me just explain this to you, Your Honor. The last time that he tried to pick her up, the reason that I actually did not let him is not only that he doesn't have a driver's license, but also that he has outstanding warrants in Colorado, 2 of them. And if he gets picked up, if he gets pulled over with no driver's license and warrants, he goes to jail, and my daughter goes to social services. And he held it, he kept it back from me that he was going to be driving with her. So as soon as I found out that he was going to be driving with her, I drove right there and picked her up.
It's very hard for me to figure out exactly how much money he owes you. Because you're living at his mother's house, you're living at your mother's house, and what the order provided for, which was very early on, contemplated you living in your own residence, him living someplace else, and him contributing $192.50.
Right, and that was from a minimum wage job, and at that time I think minimum wage was like $4.75 or something
Well, let me
like that.
explain something to you. I don't think he's ever going to get beyond that. Right, not with his attitude.
All right.
But how long has it been now that you have been living in your own apartment?
Without him?
Without him?
February.
Since February?
Since February.
February, March, April, and May. So 4 months. And prior to that, he was living there?
Yes, he was. He lived there from November to February.
And prior to that, you were living at his mother's house or your mother's house?
Prior to that, we were living apart. Prior to that, I was living at my mom's house, and he was living with his parents.
So for the 4 months that you've been living alone in the apartment without him, he owes you about $770. Right?
I also have copies of medical bills and things like that that I've paid for that I think that he should pay half of.
You better start with the $770.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You have to start making regular support payments, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Anybody can make a baby. You don't have to be a genius to make a baby. Dogs make babies. Cats make babies. Fish make babies. Do you understand? And most creatures take care of their babies, at least until their babies are old enough to take care of themselves. And they don't want to hear about my mother or my father going to school. You want to go to school? That's terrific. You make a couple of babies and you want to go to school. You go to school at night, you work during the day. Or you switch it around and you get 4 hours sleep and you work your butt off so that you can support the babies that you make.
Yeah, that was my plan, to go to school and work.
What do you mean, was your plan?
Well, is my plan.
You have to have more than a plan, sir. If you make babies, you need action, not a plan.
Well, it's in action, I guess I should say.
Ms. Steins, you sound like, at least at this point in your life, you have it all together. And you're trying to do the right thing. I hope you'll do the right thing. I don't have a real good feeling. Do you understand?
I understand.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $770. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Gray versus Smitham. Step forward, please.
38-year-old Ronnie Gray, with his witness Cynthia Bernstein, is suing building owner Thomas Smitham with his witness, manager Kathy Lyons. Ronnie wants to be paid for injuries suffered for falling from a collapsed balcony.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 109 on the calendar in the matter of Gray versus Smitham. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat. Kai?
Mr. Gray, according to your complaint, you were visiting a friend.
Yes, I was.
And this is the friend you were visiting?
Yes, it is.
Who lived in an apartment complex owned by the defendant.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And you were standing out on the balcony collapsed, you were tossed to the ground and severely injured.
Yes.
He says it didn't happen. So, when do you say this occurred, sir?
1997.
January 19th,
Yeah.
1997. And what time of the day did this happen, sir?
About 10:30.
10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And when had you come to visit your friend?
30 to 40 minutes before, prior.
How long have you known her?
A couple years.
What were you doing there that morning?
Discussing business about making some outfits for some groups I was managing.
So you got there between 9 and 10 in the morning. And tell me exactly what happened when you got there.
It was a really nice day, so we decided to go out on the balcony and get some fresh air. So we proceeded out to the balcony, and being out there, I was standing on the balcony next to the railing, and I heard some cracking noise. I didn't pay very much attention to it, and a few minutes after that, it happened.
What happened?
The balcony collapsed.
The whole balcony or just the railing?
The railing and about 2 feet of the outer portion.
It's leaving part of the balcony still intact.
Yeah. Yes.
But the railing portion and the concrete
And the
that was
stucco
beyond
and the
that
wood.
went over.
Exactly.
And you both fell off this balcony?
Yes, we did.
And where did you go immediately thereafter? What happened?
Well, I fell. I was dazed, and I looked around to make sure that she was okay, and she seemed to be okay, and some people came by and witnessed and asked, were we okay? And I said, I feel okay at the moment, and we proceeded upstairs. And from that point, we made decisions to go to Daniel Freeman Memorial Hospital.
Okay, so you went upstairs.
Yes, afterwards.
So you walked up the stairs, the two of you,
Yes, we did.
and you went back to the apartment.
Yes.
And then you sat down and discussed going to the emergency room.
We had thought about calling for a ambulance at first, or to call friends, but we decided to take ourselves because we could still walk.
And how did you get there?
In a van.
Whose van?
Her van.
Who drove?
I did.
So you got to the emergency room, and were you both seen by doctors?
Yes, we were.
You have the emergency room report for me?
I have, the first thing I would like to present is the building and safety code information from Los Angeles.
First, I would like to see the emergency room report.
Here you go.
Good. Were you admitted to the hospital, sir?
For a few hours.
According to your complaint, you had an extensive period of treatment. Is that right?
Yes, afterwards.
And according to your complaint, as soon as this happened, you called a friend to go and take photographs of the collapsed balcony.
I didn't call a friend to do that. A friend met us at the hospital, and I made a decision to do that at that point.
Okay. Did anybody take photographs of you?
No.
Well, did you have any visible marks on you of being injured?
No.
So you fell down this whole story and you had no cuts, bruises, anything external?
No.
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 And what is your name?
Cynthia Bernstein.
Did Miss Bernstein have photographs taken, if you know?
Of herself?
Yes.
Not that I know, no.
And did she have any external signs of injury? Cuts, bruises,
No.
trauma?
None that
On the
I
outside.
could see.
None that you could see?
Right.
Okay. Now, Mr. Smitham, you own this property?
Yes.
First, could you pass up those photographs to me? Miss Bernstein was a tenant of yours?
Yes. Could I say something to this? I own the building, but my daughter runs the building and operates it and always has. Okay. And she has the information. I'm really not aware of.
Step up.
Good morning, Anna.
Good morning. What is your name?
Catherine Lyons, Lyons.
Now, Miss Lyons, Miss Bernstein was a tenant of yours?
Yes, she was.
How long had she been a tenant?
Approximately 8 months.
You were aware of the collapse, partial collapse of a balcony in her apartment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when did that occur?
It happened on January 18th, not 19th, as the plaintiff stated.
I may have been wrong about the date.
Well, you certainly had the wrong date, sir, because according to you, the first thing that you said was this happened on 1/19/97, and your date of examination in the hospital was 1/18/97. So clearly, you were mistaken about the date.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
This balcony, Your Honor, collapsed on the morning of January 18th. It fell approximately about 7 o'clock in the morning. My construction worker happened to be a tenant of mine who also lived on the premises, and he called me immediately when it happened.
Just a second. You can't tell me what he said to you, but what time did you receive a call about
7 a.m.
7 a.m. How are you certain of the time, Ms. Lyons?
I was getting my children ready for school.
Okay. And what did you do when after you got that call?
Dropped my children off and went straight over to the apartment building.
What time did you arrive at the apartment building?
I arrived approximately 9:15.
If you can't behave yourself, then you're going to leave. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did your attorney advise you that he was not following through with your claim because he suspected that this was a fraudulent claim?
No, he did not. They let the case go because Mrs. Davis had to leave town, and they needed both of us to discuss this matter further.
That's a lot of baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronnie Gray and his witness Cynthia Bernstein say they fell as a balcony collapsed at an apartment building owned by Thomas Smitham and managed by his daughter, Kathy Lyons.
What did you see when you arrived at the apartment building?
That the second-story balcony had collapsed onto the. It had collapsed. As I was there discussing the matter with the construction worker, I saw Miss Bernstein and this gentleman pull up in a van. They hadn't even been home prior to this happening. They pulled up, got out, went upstairs, and that was the last I saw of them. 2 or 3 months later, I get a letter from an attorney saying that they're suing us for just thousands and thousands of dollars of medical reports, and my husband, who happens to be an attorney, wrote a letter to them saying this is a fraudulent claim. We're not going to give it to our insurance agency. If you continue with this, we're going to report you. We're going to report it to the insurance commission. It was dropped immediately. And that was the last I heard of this until now. Now, not only, Your Honor, did this happen a year and a half ago, but their statute of limitations ran out in California. If they wanted to sue, they should have done this a long time ago.
Well, I don't necessarily feel bound necessarily by statute of limitations, but I am kind of interested. Step up here. I am kind of interested, madam, in why your attorney did not pursue this claim.
After the apartment was damaged like that, I went away. I went out of town, and only address they had to find me, because I had no place else to live after that, was at his place. So they had notified
Where did
him.
you go out of town?
Where?
Yes.
To Washington, D.C. That's where I'm originally from. I've been here for years, but I was born in Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh. But you had originally contacted an attorney, or had
Yes,
he
I did.
contacted an attorney, or did he contact the attorney?
We both did.
But the attorney dropped the claim.
That's because they couldn't find me. They kept.
Well, they could find him.
Right.
They could find you. The attorney
Exactly.
dropped the claim. So let's discuss why the attorney dropped this claim. Let's be very careful about this. Did your attorney advise you that he was not following through with your claim because he suspected that this was a fraudulent claim?
No, he did not. The only reason, if I may say,
Uh-huh.
the only reason they let this case go, they felt we had a very, very good case. They let the case go because Mrs. Davis had to leave town, and they needed both of us to make certain dates to see them and to discuss this matter further.
Mr. Gray,
Yes.
that's a lot of baloney. You want to know why it's a lot of baloney? I've been a lawyer for 35 years. Because you have a claim that is at least as valuable as her claim, and any lawyer who took your case would be most anxious to complete it, because if you were an invited guest of someone who lived in an apartment, sir, and as an invited guest you were standing out on the balcony collapsed, which means that they would be per se liable for any injury that you sustained, which means that there is absolute liability on their part. So there's not even an issue as to liability, Mr. Gray. And if you say you had long-term injuries as a result of this, then there would be absolutely no reason why a lawyer would drop your claim just because they couldn't get in touch with her.
Okay.
Absolutely none. So let's go further, sir. I'm going to ask you for a couple of things. I would like all of your medical reports. Did the lawyer send you to a doctor?
Yes.
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 Okay, so you went to see a lawyer. Now, what day did you first go to see the lawyer?
I don't know the exact date off the top of my head.
How much
because I don't
after
wanna
the
make that-
incident?
Huh? I don't want to make that same mistake again.
How
on the
much
dates.
after the incident? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
A week or so.
A week or so?
Yeah.
In between going to the emergency room and going to the lawyer, what doctor did you see?
Myself, I went to a family chiropractic group first, and then afterwards, I ended up going to.
Can I see? Showing me?
And where's the other information here? Okay, I think you have the other one there.
Mm-hmm. So the things that you complained about to the doctor when you went to the doctor, sir, were things you said you felt stiff when you got out of bed in the morning?
My right wrist, my back, my pelvis was injured.
You told that to the doctor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
And the x-rays that were taken were all negative.
There was nothing broken.
The x-rays were all negative.
Yes.
And you had no external lacerations.
Some swollenness.
I don't see anywhere where it talks about swelling in any of these reports.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet into a bush. You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet onto cement. You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet probably onto a pillow.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Ronnie Gray wants his medical bills plus pain and suffering paid by building owner Thomas Smitham when a balcony collapsed. The manager, Kathy Lyon, says no one was on the balcony when it fell.
You want to show me something from your lawyer?
Okay, this is where they had me and Mrs. Davis as joint, parties in this case. So that's why they made the decision to let it go, because we could not make it together. They wanted to do this as a joint case. I don't understand, but that's what they wanted to do.
When was the last time you spoke to this lawyer?
It's been several months.
What several? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months?
3-4 months.
Is that when you were advised that she was dropping the case?
Actually, they sent me the information back first, and then I called.
What information did they send back?
They sent me the file.
The whole file?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I don't think I have the
file.
complete file, but I have...
I want the last letter that they sent you indicating that they were dropping your lawsuit.
Here it is. Here's the one she wanted to see why they dropped it. Here's another one. That's awful news. I got to it.
Well, these letters were all sent to you,
I know that.
and they sent them to you directly.
They sent us both.
They sent it to you. They sent one letter to you directly. It is better that you contact this office. It's made out directly to you.
Right.
Not to her. So why didn't you go?
They sent me the file.
No. The lawyer called you to come in. The lawyer notified you on 2 separate occasions, at least from here, 2 separate occasions to come into the lawyer's office.
By myself?
Oh, yes. This letter is directed to you. You're Ronnie Gray, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So why didn't you go to the office?
I never missed any appointments with the lawyer, okay?
Well, if you never missed any appointments with the lawyer, sir, then I can't understand it. But I do have a couple of questions from looking at this. Scott, chiropractor, says that you told him when you came in to see him for the first time that you fell on your wrist and your head when you fell 15 feet.
Okay.
So you want me to believe, sir, that you fell 15 feet on your wrist and your head, causing you all kinds of problems, but that you had absolutely no abrasions, because this doctor saw absolutely no abrasions on you, not a scratch. You fell 15 feet on your head and your wrist, and you had no...
There was a lot of shrubbery. If you look at the pictures, like a lot of ivory and weeds and whatnot, I can't explain to you why.
Certainly, if there's a lot of shrubbery, you would have scratches and abrasions. You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet into a bush. You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet onto cement. You would have scratches or abrasions if you fell 15 feet probably onto a pillow. None of these doctors who saw you immediately after the incident, sir, saw any visible signs that you had taken a fall.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
My last question to you is, your lawyers told you they were dropping the case because you hadn't been in touch with them. Why didn't you go to another lawyer?
I didn't want to have another lawyer have to go through all this mess again.
So what'd you sue them for?
Huh?
So what'd you sue them for?
What did I sue them for?
Yeah.
Because of my losses and the doctor bills.
Well, then why didn't you go through a lawyer?
To another lawyer?
Yeah, why didn't you go to a lawyer? Your lawyer wrote to you, you had doctor bills, you had medical bills. I assume
there was another lawyer that I did contact, and he didn't want to get involved in it.
Let me ask you this question, sir. This doctor, this chiropractic group that your lawyer sent you to,
right,
saw you a lot of times, right?
Right.
And had all these medical bills from the chiropractic group, right? A couple of $1,000s at least.
Exactly.
Right? Did you pay them?
Did I pay them?
Yeah.
I wasn't able to pay them.
So the answer is you didn't pay them.
No, I did not pay them.
This case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the Judge Judy.
Parties on Sol versus Piazza. Step forward, please.
Accountant Avi Sull is suing Connie and Michael Piazza for not repaying a loan for their sports bar.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 103 on the calendar in the matter of Sol versus Piazza. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
According to your complaint, sir, you pledged some shares in a credit union for a loan for these people 5 years ago, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you say that for the first year and some months, they paid this loan,
That's correct, Your Honor.
and then they defaulted.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And your shares in this credit union were taken.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So explain to me how this happens.
Good morning, Your Honor. It's really a privilege to be in front of you. And I wanted to express to you that Michael Piazza approached me about a dream of opening up a bar called the Arkansas Sports Lounge.
How did you know him?
I knew him from associations through other friends. I also knew him from work. He worked for the county. I worked for the city at that time, Your Honor. I'm trying to be as brief as possible for you. He came to me asking for funding to open up his dream bar and lounge. He couldn't go to his own family. I said to him that I would make the attempt to go to my credit union, which I was a member. I had shares, and I would pledge those shares and get him the loan to open the business.
In exchange for what?
In exchange that I would be administering the books, accounts receivable, payable, and to make sure that the account was paid.
So in exchange for pledging your shares for this stranger, not
No.
related to you by blood,
No,
not a longtime friend of yours,
I would say acquaintance would be best.
an acquaintance, you were prepared to pledge shares in your credit union worth, according to you, $10,000, and all you wanted in return was to be able to administer the books of the company.
Which he was going to pay me, Your Honor.
How much was he going to pay you?
He was paying me $150 a week for working a 45-hour week.
Yeah, go ahead.
His spending habits were beyond reproach. I was not able to make him understand that when you own a new business, you have to be patient. You can't take a full salary.
Excuse me.
You
Can I say
can't,
something?
you can't proceed to pay things when you don't have money. As the business had problems, as the business was going on, he chose to use his countermate, his wife, to now get involved with the business. And they pushed me aside, Your Honor. They pushed me aside because they no longer needed Avi. They didn't need his money. They didn't need his confidence. They didn't need his trust. So they pushed me aside. We don't need Avi. They go ahead, they run the business to the ground. The loan goes into default. Lo and behold, I have to be responsible for this loan. Now the loan gets further into default.
So now what I want you to do, Mr. So, is show me the paper trail of the loan that you made from your credit union, the check that you gave to the Piazzas, and the default on that loan. And I want to see all the paper.
What I have for you, Honor, is the promissory note for the amount of money that was borrowed.
Let me see it.
The promissory note that he signed that he owed me. And then this is a breakdown that shows you the amount of the shares that was transferred toward the delinquent loan, and it showed a zero balance.
This promissory note, sir, is dated 1989.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Piazza,
Yes, Your Honor.
you have some sort of a countersuit here that also deals with a loan that was made in 1989 that I don't quite frankly understand. But
do I.
this says that you owe them this money.
Yes, Your Honor.
Show me proof that you paid them.
Could I say something?
My what?
I have all the papers here.
Mm-hmm.
The loan that it was taken out with that paper right there, okay, was paid. My husband had asked them to redo the loan for $6,000, and he claims he never got it, which he did get it, which I went to the
Just a second. Show me on paper. Listen to me, Miss Piazza. Stand back there.
Okay.
show me on paper receipts, canceled checks that you paid this loan.
Here's one canceled check right here.
Your Honor.
All right. This is 1991.
Right, we were
a check
making
for
payments.
Check for $350.
We were paying that every month.
Show me.
Well,
Show me. I have one check here from 1991. Show me that this was paid. Show me.
Okay, also, he filed bankruptcy, which their loan went into bankruptcy. He didn't have to finish paying for it, which they held a judgment against us that he told us he never got $6,000 and he did.
Second. Just a second. So what you're saying is
the loan that was over.
It's
complicated.
You're telling me it's complicated. Did you, in fact, at some point file for bankruptcy?
Yes.
Now,
may I elaborate?
Yes.
The bankruptcy was before this loan went into default. I had no plans of defaulting from that credit union. I've been a member there for over 30 years.
Mr. Sull, you're not following what I'm saying to you, sir. I want to see evidence that you are actually out any money.
Yes.
Show me.
Your Honor, you have it in front of you. The computer sheet printout from the credit union shows that the shares were transferred toward the delinquent loan of over $3,000.
That's not true. That's not true because we have proof from the credit union it's not true.
Randy, can I say one thing?
The second loan he had gotten, which he told us he never did, and he pocketed $6,000 on our expense.
I want the
Show me.
Your Honor.
Right there, the $1,700 we paid back because they had a judgment on us.
No. Show. Listen to me.
The $6,000 check is right
I'm
there.
not.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No.
No. Okay.
The credit union gave us the $6,000 check.
Wait.
The credit union gave who a $6,000?
The lady from the Warsaw Credit Union had given me the canceled check, $6,000. She felt bad for us because he did this. And
Piazza,
she gave me...
I'm not following you. You want to know why I'm not following you? Because you're not going step by step with me. No. You borrowed and promised
not me. I didn't even know about this loan.
You borrowed and promised to pay back $13,323.97.
Can I talk, Your Honor?
And
Go ahead.
and that was to open up a bar.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good, Michael.
Wait, I'm not done, Mr. Smooth.
Hey.
I'm not done, Mr. Smooth. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Don't be sorry, just be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
My problem is I can't figure out where the scam is.
Your Honor.
I can't figure it out, but I know it's here someplace.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Avi Sull says he loaned Connie and Michael Piazza thousands to open a restaurant. He wants the money back.
The only proof that you have of any payback to show me is $350 check 2 years after this promissory note was written.
Well, we were meant to make an amount.
I want you to be quiet. I'm not talking to you. So that's the only thing you have to show me. But he says that for the first 14 months, you did in fact pay back this loan. So that brings us up to somewhere around 1991. Now, you say that he took out another loan for $6,000 against his credit union.
Right.
Somehow implicating you, that you are responsible for.
Well, you were
and that you had to pay some $1,700 for.
May I talk, Your Honor?
So I want you to show me. In 1989, I have a check made out to you, sir, for $6,000 from this credit union. And what was that for?
Mr. Piazza had asked me to use my credit card to help the business. When he couldn't pay the credit card, in the 30-day process, I went back to the credit union with my signature, took that check, and then we put it back into the business and paid the credit card.
He's lying.
Show me. Just a second. Show me. Show me.
I don't have that in front of you. But, Your Honor, I want to make a point here. Why would I take a $6,000 check, against his signature when he was with me every step of the way with this business, and place it somewhere else.
Quite frankly, Mr. Sull, I have absolutely no idea why a man who is at least articulate, you are clearly an articulate man, would take out $13,000, put your hand down.
Yes.
$13,000 and another $6,000 to give to people who you indicate, my mouth is moving.
I apologize.
Who you indicate were nothing more of acquaintances than yours, and in exchange for that, you weren't getting a piece of the business, you weren't getting a percentage of the business, you weren't getting a percentage of the profits. What you were getting was a salary, according to you, of $150 a week for a 48-hour week to do their books. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard, and don't impress me as being a dumb man. So my problem is, I can't figure out where the scam is.
Your Honor.
I can't figure it out, but I know it's here someplace.
But, Your Honor, I would like to interject one thing.
Can I talk, Your Honor?
Your Honor,
now I'm going to hear him.
His ideas or intentions were he was going to be part of the business. We became good friends, and everything was good. Now, as the time went on, the business got not as good as we wanted to. I needed more money for it. So I asked him, I says, Abby, we need another favor. Can you go to the credit union? So he says, okay, Mike, let me see what we can do. So I got my partner at the time. We signed everything else. He got his ex-wife involved to sign the papers, and then turned around, came back and said, Mike, they refused me. I said,
Show
oh,
me
boy.
the papers.
Pardon?
Show me the papers.
Well, that's a $6,000 loan.
All I see is
right. He got the check, and
that's what you're telling me. That doesn't say it here. All it says is
he lied to me and said he never got the money. What I want to know is what did he do with the $6,000?
I want to know where you paid him back the $13,000. I want to see that.
Your Honor, the first loan that we got, I was paying on it, okay? The $350.
Show me.
I don't have the papers here.
We just had the one check that we were paying monthly.
Just a second. If you paid back $350 monthly, and you paid that over a period of 2 years, that doesn't bring you to $13,000.
Well, Your Honor, in Chip...
well, he filed bankruptcy.
In 1990...
I didn't ask you a question.
In 1990, I filed for a Chapter 13.
You
I went
filed
down.
for Chapter 13?
Yes.
And when you filed for bankruptcy, you paid back certain of your creditors as best as you could.
Yes,
right.
But you didn't finish paying him back. Is that correct?
Your Honor, the reason why...
Judge, I didn't ask you the reason.
Okay.
I said you didn't finish paying him back.
Right.
He took enough from us.
I am shocked by that, Connie.
Well, you should
That
be.
hurts me.
Well,
I gave my heart and soul to you.
Talk to the judge.
Just a second. Bird, would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Put her out.
Ma'am, this way.
I apologize, Your Honor.
You didn't finish paying him back.
Right, Your Honor.
Okay. So how much did you owe him that you didn't pay him back?
At the time, the loan was only down to about $5,000.
Okay. So you acknowledged then, sir, that you owed him the $5,000.
Yes.
Then you say that you were forced to pay, according to your countersuit.
Right.
That he got a check for $6,000. Somehow that $6,000 was attributed to you, and that you were forced to pay $1,721.
Yes, Your Honor.
Show me.
Did I pay it? It
Yes.
should be there.
Your
I paid the
cancelled check.
$1,700. See, my wife handled all my...
Shut up. I don't want to hear from your wife. She irritates
I'm
me.
just... And you have to have it, because I don't have it with me. I just had it. I know.
Oh. Okay. In any event, Mr. Sull is suing you for $3,000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sir, I don't need reinforcement.
I apologize.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
Oh, how did you know that the lawyer was going to accept the bail money?
I assumed it.
How did you assume? You must have friends in the industry.
No, I assumed it.
closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Abby Sull says he loaned Connie and Michael Piazza thousands to open a restaurant. He wants the money back.
He's suing you for $3,000. You acknowledge that you failed to pay $5,000 worth of your debt to him.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there really is no issue, sir. He's suing you for $3,000. You
Your
at
Honor,
least owe him that. Right?
Right.
Good! Judgment is for the plaintiff for $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Painful. This case was painful.
Man's a thief, okay? Manipulating person, okay? He got away with, he shouldn't have got away with. okay? That's just the way I feel.
Over 25 years of her experience, she's always been able to see it through the clear light and know who is telling the truth and who is not. And that's what the judicial system is about.
And now the next case.
Parties on Gordon versus Gordon. Step forward, please.
31-year-old Susan Gordon was arrested for selling drugs. Now 65-year-old retired city clerk Catherine Gordon is suing her son, 32-year-old construction worker Timothy Gordon, and his wife Susan for the $1,000 bail she loaned them.
This is your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother-in-law?
Yes.
You got yourself arrested. For what?
It's really irrelevant to this case.
Let's try again. What were you arrested for?
A felony.
Okay. You went to your mother's house?
Yes.
And what did you say to your mother?
I told my mother that my wife had been arrested and that she had a $1,000 bail on her. Once I told her that she had a $1,000 bail on her, my mother said, let's get her out. So we went down to the bank. She gave me the money at the bank, and I went and I bailed her out.
After you bailed her out and she got out and the bail money was returned to you, what had you intended to do with the bail money?
I intended on giving her the money back.
Because that was your agreement with her, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened?
Well, I went to court with them, and the lawyer came up to me and said, oh, I think it was my understanding that money would be used to pay my fees. And
I mean the bail money?
Yes.
What'd you do with the bail money when you got it back?
I didn't get it back.
It went right to the lawyer. You
Yeah, it went right to the lawyer.
So what you did was...
I signed over the paper.
You signed over the bail money
Yes.
to the lawyer.
Yes.
Now, tell me exactly how that came about. Your wife is now out of jail.
Right.
Right. And you went to find a lawyer?
No, what happened was I spoke to my mother about it. She found the lawyer for me.
Did you?
She went through the yellow pages.
I just went in the yellow pages.
She went through the
and
yellow
found
page.
a lawyer. But I never gave him permission to give it to the lawyer.
Okay. You went through the yellow pages, you found a lawyer. Not the best way to find a lawyer usually, but okay. So the two of you went to see the lawyer.
Right. Well, my mother knew we was going to see the lawyer.
Don't tell me what your mother knew. And what happened when you got to the lawyer's office?
Well, he wanted at least $1,500 up front. I told him that I had no money. My mother knew that I wasn't working at the time.
Don't tell me what your mother knew. You're in the lawyer's office, and the lawyer says to you, I want $1,500 up front.
I said that I would sign over the $1,000 of my mother's bail money to you, and her mother gave us another $500 for the $1,500.
Okay. So you're sitting in the lawyer's office with the bail money receipt.
Yes, ma'am.
And the lawyer, I'm sure, said to you, well, is your wife out on bail? You said, yes. You got the bail thing. You want to sign the bail over to me.
Right.
Isn't that what the lawyer said to you?
Yes, he did, ma'am.
All this training served me well. When you came home from the lawyer's office, you say you went and told your mother that you signed the bail money over to the lawyer.
No, I told her before we went to see the lawyer.
Well, how did you know that the lawyer was going to accept the bail money?
I assumed it.
How did you assume? You must have friends in the industry.
No, I assumed it. There was $1,000 on paper, and I figured if he wanted to get paid, he would take the $1,000 that was on the paper.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Miss Gordon, as far as you were concerned, you were loaning your son and daughter-in-law this money?
Yes, Judge.
Mm-hmm. Do you work?
No, I'm on Social Security disability alone.
What does he do for a living?
I don't know what he's doing. I haven't seen him in months and months.
What do you do
a
for a
couple of
living?
weeks after
I just
they
started
did
a
that.
new job 2 weeks ago, ma'am. Construction.
And what do you do for a living?
Nothing.
Construction pays relatively well.
Pretty good, yes.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Step out.